we'll see how well that goes.
I'm glad you clarified that it was with food, because my brain went somewhere very else with that entirely. You're just experimenting, you know.
I try stuff with that all the time. I don't know what you're talking. All right. Hopefully everything's done vibrating, cause I got it on Do Not Disturb, so that should work out. Hopefully. You tell me if the vibrating gets annoying, if it still exists.
You're experimenting with vibrating?
Tess, have I not shown you the app on my phone that lets it vibrate like that?
You showed me something suggestive on your phone. I didn't know that that's what it actually was.
It was a vibrator for your phone.
Heather!
Yes, Tess?
Heather!
Yes, hon?
Gone to daddy!
No, turn off the ads, turn off the sound. There we go.
Pump up the jam.
Come on and...
Slam, welcome to Japan.
There we go, I like it. Okay.
Anyway, you may notice, also, good evening, Lozzie, Lozford, my noodle, and you're quite welcome. You know, friend is sad, and sad spelled backwards is das, and that's not good. So you may notice that I've finally organized the panels at the bottom of the stream. So people can donate to me if they want to. I don't expect that anyone will. But that's fine, the option is there. I like offering options, he says, grabbing at his own throat.
Okay, that is not how I thought you were going to end that sentence. That's good. That's good.
What could I possibly have said?
Please, the option is there. You don't have to, but I like money. So...
Well, that's also true.
That's a very me thing to say, though, so don't say that.
Well, fuck, you got me going in the Edgeworth voice now as well.
Huh?
Fuck's sake, Heather. And you can't even tell what I'm putting this voice on compared to when I speak normally. Good Christ.
Okay, now that I heard.
No.
Good Christ. Now.
And don't mind me just popping back into Discord for half a second just to send a suggestive emoji to Alex. I'll leave it to your imagination as to which one it was. The answer may shock you.
The answer may surprise you. I can't do it today. I can't get my throat to do that. I did a lot of screaming last night.
Were you going for Monokuma?
So, yeah, I was trying to for a second there, and then I broke. So I'm not gonna bother.
Your MILF goals, apparently.
What?
I didn't even know you were pregnant.
What?
38 plus 2 weeks pregnant?
Look, you...
I think my cow is pregnant?
How to not be afraid of cow.
It's a lighter. Lol, spin the wheel. It's a combustion.
It's a chicken, it's a fire. It's a firefighter.
What's a dinosaur to dine? What's a sword to dine? What's a do?
What's a kids? It's kids.
Hey, it's kids. Also, I've always known, but I've never actually said on stream, the reason why it takes the game a hot minute to appear, half the reason is OBS being OBS, but half the reason also is the way OBS works is, like, I have one preset for capturing stuff from Steam, and you can tell it to look for a specific window with a specific name, and I use that same preset for both streaming Danganronpa and recording A Hat in Time. So it's looking for A Hat in Time, and that window does not exist at the moment. It's Danganronpa.
I'm very...
You could have stopped me at any point there, Heather.
Why would I stop you, though? Tess, why would I ever tell you to stop?
It's a chicken. It's fire. It's really hot Nando's. Anyway, we have a murder to solve. And I don't remember what I said on stream and what I didn't say on stream, but I know at the very least we bought a cabbage and I intend to use it because look at how many skis pop I have. Also, I can't afford to buy those.
It's a cabbage. It's a babbage.
Okay, there we go. That's the thing that I bought in the last stream stram, so... This being said... Just peek! I don't know, it's just there and I had a brain thought.
Oh, it's trees!
Oh, there's trees!
I'm not sure whether I should be upset or bothered that you can go higher than I can naturally. Meow!
And... yeah, why not? People usually increase their faith. I can, so I may as well. I think... You know what, I like this flavor. There we go. Well, I'm fully stocked. We're out of kitchen roll at home, so I need to stock up.
Oh,
you know
no.
how it be.
Well, that makes soup, though.
It's soup! Anyway. It's trial time.
Now then, let's begin with a basic explanation.
Morikuba's still all tuckered out from the announcement.
Screw it. This is tiresome.
Well, it is chapter 4. And you know how I feel about 4s.
I mean, they are death, so that's neither here nor
I
there.
do. I really...
I'm so glad they're self-aware about this.
Now then, let's start this class trial.
It's chapter 4, therefore it's bath time, obviously.
Before we start, I just want to ask something since there's not a lot of us left.
Actually, that's the point. Since I can sort of free look within reason, I want to see what the crosses look like on Korekyo and Miu's portraits.
What happens if the votes result in 2 first places?
Huh? You mean like...
So impatient.
Kokichi, what the fuck are you planning?
It means they're both the blackened. As long as one of them is correct.
It's
That's
like this
fine.
game is trying to do everything to make sure that Chaos Potentia Est is spoken for. How dare you appease my fanfiction? How's the Jesus? Theo Karen Childology.
Daddy, are you sure you should make a decision like that so
I misread that as,
casually?
Daddy, are you sure you should mate so casually? Thrust! Also, Monodam. No special cross there.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
Well, that's sad.
Thanks. Since that's answered, I can start
At least he
enjoying
gets
this
a
life or
green
death
ribbon,
game
though.
now.
What game? How long are you gonna keep saying that?
Just ignore Kokichi. The rest of us need to work together to find the truth.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Himiko has a personality now.
Got it? We can't die here!
Oh.
My! Himiko has become so determined!
I just remembered the whole tree trunk dick situation, and I think it was 2 streams ago.
It's true!
What?
People really do change!
Yeah, yes.
But now she's lost.
You'll
and
have to
made her
fill me
so
in on that one.
unique.
Well, Himiko was talking crack cocaine about going to daddy, but then she was like, I think that's what Miu would say.
None of your business!
We should focus on the class trial. First, we need to clarify...
Of course. Of course. Of course it's 3 X's.
Kaito's the culprit.
Is it? Oh my. Oh, of course
Say
it
that to my
is.
face.
Beautiful.
That's amazing.
While we were all still logged in, Kaito logged
No.
out alone, right?
2 to the 1 to the 1 to the 3. Shit, this is gonna be fucking easy.
Do you know how I learned
You
what
were
Triple
able to
X
move
meant,
freely.
Tess?
Doesn't that mean
Did you ever
could've
watch the
committed
old
murder?
Sinbad cartoon? Like
No.
the movie?
No.
It was really good. It's
No.
like super. Oh, that's right. You never watched anything. Never mind.
No way I'm the
But
culprit.
you
Kaito right.
in that I mean like it's an incredibly under. In it, there's this hot demon lady, And like twice in the
Oh, you're gonna
movie,
keep
somebody
saying that?
asks her,
Trusted
like,
people
you
can
know,
still kill,
are
you
you sure
know.
that'll something? So she takes her claw and she like
We already saw that a
in her
bunch of
shoulder,
times.
and she like makes an
So
X there, and
many
she's like,
times.
cross my heart.
Since
And she
Kaido.
does that twice in the movie, but then she shows and just has the X there. So like that's 3 X's. So it enhances her sexual whatever. And I remember, I think it was my dad was like,
She's gonna do it a third time. They've got to put in the subliminal message about triple X's in there somewhere.
and I was like, but Daddy, why? And that's why.
Daddy, why?
Gone to Daddy, why?
But can we just take a moment to appreciate Kokichi throwing shade there? But yeah, well, I learned a different way, and you could argue that maybe I still don't. But I mean, please,
Oh my. That's prompting me to go get food. I'll be right back.
But I'm hearing the lie music, Heather. I need to lie.
Then
logged out first
lie
by
to me.
himself.
Yes, lie to me while I can't hear you. I'll be right back.
I forget how you check the controls as well. So this should be fun. There we go. So, escape is fast forward. Right. Okay.
You was still logged in, though. That's when you poisoned her, right, Kaido?
Kaito culprit? Impossible!
Impossible, they did
Of
the
course
thing.
it's impossible, because I didn't do it! I mean, we found that bottle of poison on Kokichi's seat, didn't we?
The culprit was trying to pin the blame on me. That diversion was part of your plan, right, Kaito?
Well, Kaito, any last words?
What do you mean, last words?
I love that pose on Kaito. But it just swoops back into place. Swoops back into place. But I think I know what I need to do here. I just need to remember how to... I keep forgetting how to concentrate the
Kaito
thing.
logged out.
Okay, that is
first
like...
by
Okay.
himself. You was still logged in, though. That's when you poisoned her, right, Kaito?
That was not the button I meant to press. I missed the vagina! I missed the vagina and Heather wasn't even here.
You couldn't have been killed with poison,
But it's true, she didn't die of poisoning.
and it's much too early to decide that Kaito is the culprit.
So it's all one good saying, my lie will become the truth, but like, she didn't die by poisoning, so it's a righteous lie.
But why? I think it's already too late. You guys are taking so long to realize that people can kill others in a snap.
Kokichi Grandma, you fuck.
Have you forgotten? The bottle we found at the scene was an antidote, not a poison. It's not like Mew could have been killed by an antidote.
See, I only lied because of the lie music, but still, Shuichi, how dumb do you think they are?
What? Are you serious here? Come on, Shuichi. That bottle definitely had poison in it. Didn't we check the label?
Yeah, but, okay, if we play along with the lie, couldn't it have come from Shuichi's lab? Kill others in a snack. Shove her into a Pringles tube and shake it all up.
Is this fun for you? Messing with a trial?
Well, I mean, this is where it gets fun for both me and the culprit. So, what's this talk about an antidote? We'll just say you misunderstood the whole thing, Shuichi. We all know you wouldn't lie.
Yeah, because I'm not Nicholas Joseph's girlfriend. I'm not
Of
Carmelita
course.
Fox.
I'm sorry, I was just misremembering. But Kokichi, you're misremembering as well.
Oh, snap.
You were the one who told us about the warnings on the label. If you remember what was on that label, you'll see that your
Ever?
argument is flawed.
What warnings? Was there something like that on the label?
What is going on over there?
So what does that mean?
A fine question, Gonch Daddy. I'm hearing weird farty noises from Heather's side.
It means that Mew couldn't have been killed with poison.
What I miss?
That's what I'm trying to say.
I lied, but I missed the vagina.
Oh, how dare.
what if you're mistaken about the antidote, Shuichi?
Actually, that's incredibly accurate to real life, isn't it?
Well, for now,
Meow.
forget the antidote. Let's focus on exactly what was written on that warning label.
Yeah, she didn't have the crazy
It's
eyes.
okay,
It
Tess.
would result in
You won't miss mine.
self-injectable hemorrhaging.
Did you just say what I think you just said?
I think I just said what you think I just said, yes.
In other words, your eyes would be bloodshot.
You are in a committed relationship, but no.
Oh, but Mew's body. That's right. Her eyes weren't
Wait,
bloodshot.
first of all,
wasn't
Luke,
killed by that
what?
poison.
Second of all, competing, what?
Who? What? Who's competing?
I heard lube and I heard competing. These are both inaccurate.
Then what was that poison for?
Probably a diversion. The culprit.
But I do like how the
She's actually in 2, technically. 3 if you really want to get...
Oh. I do like how the crossing outs in the portraits are so personalized, because Ryoma's is straight to the point, and uses angel wings. Oh, I could just... What the fuck is going on Korekiyo's? Is that a question mark? I can't quite see from here.
Then, what was her real cause of
I said
death?
committed, yes. Is that what you misheard?
Oh, probably.
Well,
Well...
the cause of death is toilet paper. Because... Well, yeah, she was in the virtual world.
I was wrong!
You were not wrong, Shuichi. We discussed this. Do you want me to say that the killing game was the I mean, okay, that's not... okay, that's not inaccurate, but still. They
Mew's
used
cause
the
of death
toilet
was
paper.
the killing game simulator itself.
We discussed the toilet paper after the stream. Oh, that's worrying. Now that, like, diarrhea, cha-cha-cha, stream, toilet paper, semantic fields, bomb, big
Oh
shack.
boy.
Everyday man's on the block, smoke trees. My guy, he's got a frisbee.
In the virtual world,
The ting goes
the
skrrrr.
avatar takes fatal damage, and the real body dies of shock. That was made clear in the program's text.
You donut, nose long like garden hose.
Miu received fatal damage.
Ozzy,
in
who
virtual
said I
world
didn't like...
and died from that shock.
In that
Heather's
case,
floof is for
it's fair to say
everybody.
that the cause of
Oh!
death was actually the simulator.
Gonta has question. Where is this virtual world place? What floor is it on?
Oh, that reminds me as well of a thought that I'd had, and I don't think I said it on the stream. I think it occurred to me after the stream. But, like, I meant to go back and check if Gonta was sitting on the same side of the room as Himiko. Just because, like, I'm suspecting Gonta just because predictions or whatever. But, like, this kind of reminds me of...
If you don't understand, then don't say anything.
Savage. But, like, twice, both times I went into the virtual world, Himiko was like, okay, I hold my chopsticks in my right hand, so I plug the thing in there. Well, Gonta's the only one who would be stupid enough to misconstrue it that way, but if he's left-handed, or if he sat opposite from Himiko, then he would plug his things in the wrong way around, because, like, well, she holds it in her right, either I hold it in my left, or I need to plug it into her right, which is my left, so he'd plug things in the wrong way around. But
If Mew was killed in the virtual world, then the next thing we need to figure out is what caused her to incur fatal damage within the virtual world.
I mean, it could just be a character quirk on Himiko's part. I may be reading too much into it.
So her
It was the
cause
toilet
in the
paper!
virtual world.
She died as she lived, surrounded by shit.
I don't think that's how toilet paper works.
It seems like Gonta is confused. So why don't we review things a bit? So we split into 2 groups to find the
Well,
secret
then
of the
again,
outside world.
technically, if the toilet paper is a murder weapon,
The ones who searched the
then it
mansion
was
were
used
Shuichi,
to kill
Tsumugi,
Mew,
Gonta,
which means that it's used to toilet paper.
that NPC
That's a good
Kaito.
point.
Who you call an NPC, you ASS?
Yes.
Ass!
And the others who searched the chapel were Keyboy, Maki, Himiko, and the late Mew.
How could someone have given her fatal damage in that situation?
They thrust it upon her.
That's what we gotta
Thrust
think
butthole.
about. Now, let's all work together.
Aww, little Himiko is all grown up. Too bad your chest hasn't grown up, though.
someday, my chest will grow like crazy!
I'm trying to think of a Harry Potter spell and nothing's coming to mind. All I can think of is Expecto My Scrotum, but that's not quite what she's going for here.
Let's begin then.
Also, I like Kibo's sassy pose. It's beautiful. I keep forgetting where the appropriate buttons are. I need to have one finger on F2 and one on the...
In the virtual world, Miu was fatally injured. So let's focus our efforts on that first.
Whatever did
Press
that to
F2.
Miu
Play.
was dropped right next to her avatar. It has to be the hammer!
But she didn't die
We're
of...
going to beat her with his bare hands.
Are we certain that blunt force was involved? I think strangulation is...
Maki's vagina!
Miu's body showed severe trauma and signs of
But
a
yeah,
struggle.
like the whole thing when she woke up, well, when we woke up and she didn't, is because she was holding her throat, and also we found toilet paper.
Yeah, she looked like she suffered. Very hard to look at.
See, Gonto, why are you using pronouns all of a sudden? I'm not using that to, like, I'm not trying to cast
The
aspersions.
virtual world is connected to our 5 senses.
Do you mean I wouldn't be psychic if I went into the virtual world? Because, sixth sense, I see soon-to-be dead people?
If her body experienced pain, she must have been in pain in the virtual world as well. Knowing that, I believe Maki is correct. Miu was strangled to death.
Yeah, definitely.
And accidentally skipped the dialogue.
Strangling and poison are the only methods that can make her look like she suffocated.
Well,
But
yes,
we already removed the possibility of poison, so it can only be strangulation.
consent is very important when I worm my way into Maki's vagina, because that's the thing that just happened.
Also, when a victim is poisoned, they commonly grab their chest or mouth.
And of course Maki would know this.
But Miu was holding her throat. It's obvious she was trying to protect her windpipe.
Oh, the Assassin Master gets really chatty when it comes to corpses.
Just thinking about it, like, how many international shit lists must the writers of these games be on? Just to make sure they're definitely right with their deaths. Because I did no studying when I wrote Chaos Potentia Est.
In that case, her exact cause of death is being strangled in the virtual world.
Yeah, what the fuck is Korekio's crossing out? They just sort of threw red paint at it and saw what happened.
But is strangulation even possible in the virtual world?
Bleeding, perhaps?
If the avatars
Or,
were
like,
equally strong,
holy smoke?
it would be difficult to strangle a resisting victim.
Or blood salt?
Yeah, if she was just as strong as them, no way they could have strangled her.
Oh, sorry, let me put on my British for a second. His old portrait's a bloody mess!
There are tons of cases where a weaker person would strangle a stronger person with a rope.
So it is
Oh, you know a lot about killing, nerd.
Kokichi Grandma.
But was there
Do you
even
want
a
to
rope
die?
in that world? I don't remember seeing one.
It was the teepee for your bunghole.
Something else is a rope.
STP!
As opposed to, I don't remember whether it was a spubby or an expand dong, but like, I think it was a poster for like some restaurant, and there were like 3 options that were bullet points at the bottom, and one of them was erect PP. But yeah, it was where is the teepee?
This is it!
Wipe your asses and wait.
During the investigation,
That was nearly Vector
we
inside
found
my head.
toilet paper outside the mansion.
Why was there toilet paper in the virtual world to begin with, by the way? Let's just take her virtual shit.
I'm guessing that the toilet paper was used to strangle her.
Gonta, no can ignore that!
Oh, gone to daddy. Gone to have problem.
What you mean, Shuichi? Huh? What's wrong?
What, wrong? Shuichi goofing off! Not gentlemanly at all!
Okay, it's not going to tell me just yet. I need to remember which button is which for the rebuttal showdown. Okay, so Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I do love the V3 version of this song. I like the second game version as well. But still.
You know you use toilet paper in place of rope.
But you can, because it wasn't real.
Would tear too easy.
Vagina slice.
I
Get a slice of that vagina.
The toilet paper wouldn't tear.
In the Museum of Ass.
Because in a virtual world, objects are unbreakable. Unbreakable?
I still want to go to the museum
Gonta.
at
You
some
didn't even
point.
know that?
Oh,
Just take a
don't we
field
all?
trip there.
There is an
Tess.
artist who was like featured on, I think it was on I Can Has Cheeseburger of all websites, but still, where they've done a load of doodles of just objects that don't have arses with arses, and it was cute.
Objects can't break in that world.
What, like a lamppost with an ass?
Yeah.
A Lisbon lampshade with an ass.
An ass with with two smaller asses, one on each butt cheek.
And since it couldn't tear, it
That actually sounds kind of cute.
Well, that wasn't one of them, but it's an idea.
Gonta not really understand, but... Sorry, Shuichi. Gonta was wrong.
Oh, Gonta Daddy.
It's okay, Gonta. Don't worry about it.
Also, I think I've pointed this out once before, but who does Shuichi's eyeliner? Or, sorry, guy liner? Because, like, damn, boy.
Killed by toilet paper.
Yeah, no, he's really hot.
Is a fitting end for her.
Best line in the game right there.
Fitting end? I do not fully understand that logic.
But if Mew was killed near the chapel, why was the
That
murder
actually...
weapon mentioned?
Yeah, no.
Maybe the culprit tried to
By
get
the way,
rid of
can
it.
we take a moment to also just love how Tsumugi is actually doing something at last. She's being a part of the debate.
It's about time.
If toilet paper was the murder weapon, then what's the deal with the hammer next to her?
It's a lie!
Perhaps the culprit prepared a backup weapon, just in case.
No, the culprit didn't bring the hammer.
They didn't drop the ban hammer.
No? But who else but the culprit would bring a hammer?
Jiminy Cricket. But yeah, it was Mew because she invented space. She's the best at space, except that's Kaito.
Mew was the one who brought the hammer.
Mew bring hammer?
Remember what she told us?
Inventing space doesn't necessitate that you're the best at it, of course.
You're the best at inventing it because you're the only one
Yeah,
who did.
she did say she deleted
There we go.
dangerous objects.
If that were true,
What does
she
space
wouldn't have
taste
missed
like?
something like a hammer.
Meaning
Very,
that
very
Mew
cold.
Must have left it on purpose.
I don't much care
Like-
for ice cream. Sex-proof mascara.
On purpose?
I...
Why'd she do that?
Lozzie, explain.
Oh. I think I know where this is going. But I had this theory anyway. Because, like, she made the whole thing in order to kill Kokichi. That's my theory.
Let's assume that Mew brought the hammer.
So...
What was she planning to do with it?
Maybe use it to break down a wall?
clearly.
Uses for a hammer.
She wanted to hammer.
Gonta no! Mew gonna build stuff with hammer!
Doesn't even let me agree with that.
Brought it for self-defense.
Or she secretly met up with Kid
But that she did because she told us so. What?
and tried to
Really?
kill them with it.
That fails twice.
You idiot! She was the victim!
I'm offended by, and you can disagree with she was the victim. Well, I'm offended by that
Let's
because
assume
I
that
shot
Mew
too
brought
soon.
the hammer.
What was she trying to do? Uses for a hammer. Gonta no! Mew gonna build stuff with hammer!
I love how I can't even agree with
Probably
that.
just brought it for self-defense.
Or she secretly met up with someone.
Now can I? Thank you.
I agree.
Right into Kokichi's vagina with consent. It's a cold day in hell, apparently.
Mew was gonna meet up with someone in the virtual world.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
With
space
me.
tastes like.
I was supposed to meet up with Mew on the roof of the mansion.
What?
That was really hot. You should do that to me again later when we're together.
No.
Meow.
No.
Is that true?
I overheard them talking about it at the chapel.
super fat, super long, sex proof.
Super hot. Super hot.
Super magnetic Neo.
Super magnetic
Mew asked to meet up with me before we went into the virtual world.
It's soup.
I totally forgot where we were supposed to meet, so good thing Keyboy spied on us.
Wait, so Mew
It's
called
I,
Kokichi
Neo.
out?
I'm trying to beat the bad guy.
If Mew brought the hammer,
Weirdly, that sounded
I
like
wonder
a
what she
young
was planning
Bentley.
to do with it.
Light slide. After I got the magnet removed from my head.
She was trying to kill
Don't
Kokichi.
your voices today. I can't. I just can't.
It sounded dangerously close to Bill Cosby.
No.
Yep,
After
she
I-
decided to meet up with me
No.
and kill me with the hammer. If you want to prove this, you'll need to figure out Mew's plan, okay?
Okay. Oh, it's this. It's time for butt plug. The butt plug time is now. And again, I keep forgetting the control. Okay. Okay. We good. We are the Gooblio. We are made of gold. We will keep stealing your captains. Tried to get multiple cubes there, missed all but one of them. Butt
I
plug!
really like this, like,
There we go.
countryside vista. You prairie. That's the word.
I was gonna say, you call that a countryside? That's a car. Cars aren't countryside, Heather.
And it's the back of the car, not the side. Goober.
Bootay.
Bootay.
See, it works better in English as well because we actually call it a boot as well. Car boot sale.
Do you really?
Yes. The back
The
and
rear bumper is the car boot.
no, the bit at the back where you put stuff in. That's the boot, and
The trunk.
it's the boot, and the equivalent on the front is the bonnet. How can you Americans not know this? You uncivilized funk.
Why do you make your cars into fancily dressed women who keep shit? in
We
all
like to
over
fuck our vehicles, okay?
That's what the second exhaust pipes are for. Okay.
Yeah, clearly Kibo is the problem here.
Oh, I didn't realize you got industrialized as you go along. That's really cool.
Okay, those are cubes, I did wonder. See, I've been practicing this, as you saw in the... Okay, I've not practiced off stream, don't worry. A rough estimation of how I actually drive IRL, except I don't. I've never driven, and I don't intend to. Well, I drove a go-kart once, and that was enough to confirm to me that no, I shouldn't be trusted with a vehicle. See, it didn't even go badly. I just thought, yeah, no, this isn't gonna work. So I decided to never get in a real car. Like, I am not stuck behind a bus simulator, but like I was fine. I just didn't space. The afterlife. The Illuminati. Hifumi's pants, as worn by Leon. Next question. A piece of toast. That's not a question, but they did it anyway. Oh, there's Tsubugi being sexy for some reason. If this hang on, if this represents Shuichi's mindscape, why is he thinking about Tsubugi being sexy? Oh, that went well. Like, it was Mew earlier, unless I was mistaken. Also, that was a really long spin out. Maybe I should have used Kaito's thing after.
like, Mew
that's...
is dead, so that's a little...
Tsubugi, why? I mean, she is best girl. And also, mastermind because she went peeing for no other reason. But still... Shuichi, you're not Alex. Control your thirst. And I think for, like, just for Tiger Boy's own, like, peace of mind, I think we shouldn't discuss things that he was mentioning to me that then we backseat conversed about together, but still, his experience of women is feelings of ham.
What? Oh, no. That's not a lady. That's steam.
Steam from her steamed clam.
Oh, that is... Meow.
Vagina.
Alright, Tyler, whatever you say.
She wanted it to appear as if Kokichi was killed in the real world.
Van sex? It's my first time to look at the chat since going into that minigame, and just...
She placed the poison on my seat.
Vangina.
Happened in the real world.
Oh.
She did
A
that
cute
too.
vangina?
What? You
How we can say?
poison bottle there?
I was the kind of bounce to
That ain't
the
right.
far side of the
Something
vagina.
weird about that.
Yes.
69? That's the sex number.
That's the 6th number.
But anyway,
But still, it's heavier than feathers.
we were talking about
If she did
the log
place
log,
poison without us
because
noticing,
this is all about timing
she
and
must have
opportunity.
logged out at some point.
I thought the log was
And
the
then
toilet
what?
paper.
Log back
The toilet.
in?
I mean, after all, it is
Kokichi,
paper
weren't you
in
in the
which you
salon
log
around
the
that time?
logs, so...
Did you see her log in or log out at all?
Nope, I didn't see that at all.
If she hadn't logged in or out, then you couldn't. That's wrong.
Are you sure about that, Kaito? Wait, you could have brought it in,
It was
duh.
you who planted the poison on Kokichi's chair.
Like, I was right for the wrong reason there. Like, I didn't really think through my answer, but hang on a minute. She could have just brought it in before anyone else... Whatever.
She had plenty of time to do it. Here, take a look at this.
Either that or she did... Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right about being wrong, but for the wrong reason.
Is this a
Oh.
record of who went in and out of the virtual
I was
world?
both! I'm not sure... I hope I don't understand what you're asking there, Lozzie. I think he does still have his virginity, and I don't know what boob reduction surgery would do about that.
That's right. It says that Mew was the last of us to log in.
So she prepared it and then
what about
stuffed it. Right up her butt.
If she logged in last,
And that's why they wanted us to explore her butthole. Also, fucking Korekiyo's portrait's really high up. Sort of like how the opposite of in the previous game, I was hilarious by how short Hyoko's was. Korekiyo's is really fucking tall.
she would have had time to move around in the real world after the previous person logged in.
That right. She could have placed poison bottle on Kokichi's seat.
This was all part of Mew's plan.
Well, you have a fiance.
She tried to
I bet
kill
he'd be
me in the
attracted to me if
virtual
I had
world,
boobs, though.
make us think it happened in the real world, then pin the crime on Kaito.
Well, that's
What's
not my
beeping?
fault.
Oh, it's a piano.
Eh? It's a
Which is why she
piano.
manually
The spirit
logged
of
you out,
Kaede, huh?
just for that
Now.
purpose.
So she did that to me?
Yes, I'm positive of that.
Chuichi says really slowly.
Mew used a method only she could use to log Kaito out manually.
Yeah, because she had that sweet-ass phone. She went to go beep beep. I'm a sheep.
This is it.
It was the cell phone found by Mew's avatar. That cell phone
What
worked
an
the same way
interesting
as the phone in the
immortalized
salon.
conversation in
It
chat.
logs users in and out.
Oh, you see, it's important that you distinguish the positive from the negative. But hang on, what?
I verified this myself when I spoke Kaito's name into it.
Yeah, that was fun. I still like the idea,
See,
though,
with
of
that cell phone,
Kaito
she
standing
could
on the
force
roof.
anyone
I
to
am
log out at
Kaito
any time.
Momoda! And then the phone in the salon just hears him like, ah, fuck. Now I'm back in the real world again.
But Mew never mentioned a cell phone, right?
That's what Shuichi referred to when he mentioned a method only she could use.
Cell phone. Whoa.
She kept the cell phone a secret on purpose, so she could use it for the murder.
So, she really was planning a murder.
Like, realistically, if Mew had murdered Kokichi, yeah, it would be actually, the more I think about it, the worse this plan seems, because we've picked it apart piss easily, and if Kokichi were dead, then no one would be getting in the way and we'd solve it like that. So Mew, you're a fucking idiot.
And she tried to set me up.
Well, I knew that from the start.
Then why did you say I was the culprit?
because I wanted to get it through your thick skull. People you trust and defend will ultimately betray you. This is a game of suspicion.
Kokichi Grandma, how dare you be profound? Stop making sense.
Well, I think your ideals should stay the same. Because phonies like you are what make the game more interesting.
Fucking Zoro-ass puppy boy.
Don't you agree, Monokuma?
It's cute.
Do I? I don't know about that. Huh? Wait, what were we talking about?
Why is Monokuma just dead at the moment?
I wonder when Daddy's gonna get his motivation back.
Chapter 4 is always the one that's
If
depression.
Father keeps slacking off, all the work is gonna get forced onto Mommy.
Chapter 4 is the one that always happens in Russia?
Always deals with depression, hon.
Oh! Oh, and I keep that theme up in... Okay, yeah, cool.
My head. I feel like I'm about to remember something, but I can't.
It just really depends on who. Whomstead. Whomst. There we go.
Whomstead the
Whomstead's feeling
incident.
Anywho, it's a blessing in disguise that Mew died and not me.
What you mean?
What you mean? Oh, that you only meant well.
Because she wouldn't have said anything about what really happened in the virtual world. You guys would have had a way harder time finding the culprit, you know.
We've just been over why it would have been easier, thank you, please.
She would have been able to lie about the virtual world settings as much as she wanted. And you'd never know that the murder actually took place in the virtual world.
So that's why she decided to attempt a murder, because she had total control.
But she still did bad. Maybe I'm not giving her enough credit. Maybe it's because she only got halfway through her plan before being murdered herself. But...
Then the reason Mew was so insistent we go into the virtual world was...
Fucking dead boobs.
She was insistent we go there so she could kill us. What a shady person.
See, on one hand, I wish Himiko had been like this in like the first couple of trials, but on the other, I'm glad they've waited until now so that the first trials didn't feel too overpopulated with characters.
I was sad that she was gone, but now I don't know what to think.
But Tsubugi's actually having lines. Best girl, best girl.
Nice! Backstabbed by a trusted friend. See? That's an ideal fun situation! Now we can start a real class trial!
Slap him!
Hey, Kokichi sort of sound like Monokuma.
Girls hit your Monokuma. Woo! Girls hit your Monokuma. Cause Uptown
Really?
Funk gon' give it to
I
you.
don't sound anything like him.
No, you're just like Monokuma.
Wednesday night and we're in court. Don't believe me, just watch.
Both of you are cowards. You never speak the truth or show your true face.
Oh wow, get shat upon.
Wait, coward? You say some interesting things sometimes, Kaito.
Smiling, putting on a mask, never saying what you really think. That kind of cowardice is just like Monokuma.
Get shat upon, as I already said.
Daddy, they're calling you a coward. Aren't you gonna do something?
Yeah, I just gotta do my signature laugh, right?
Are we even going to have a debate, scrum debate at some point in this trial? Because he's just too dead to even initiate it at this point.
There, I did it.
I don't want to spoil anything, Lozzie. Just, no one is safe, and that's all I'll say.
He's completely lost his drive. Like a one-hit wonder who clings to their former fame.
Pillarine!
My head.
Listen up, Kokichi. To hell with this game of suspicion crap. I will never be okay with it.
So basically, this is exactly what they go through in the demo trial. So I'm surprised it took them until Chapter 4 for this to happen in the actual game.
I'm just gonna believe in everyone.
Thank you, Peanut Butter Gamer.
Instead of suspecting my friends, I'm gonna...
Oh, he does look...
by
I didn't
believing in
realize that. He does look like Austin. It's cute.
Well, if you think you can win this game like that...
You think he was modeled
sure,
after...
be my guest.
Of course I can. I don't need your permission.
Which would make Karakyo modeled after Markiplier, I guess?
How?
How long are you guys going to argue?
Also,
Let's hurry this up and continue.
I don't know what it actually is, but there's a meme going around on Reddit where Markiplier's face on Lord Farquaad's body from, or at least his head from the first Trek one, that represents the letter E somehow, and I don't understand why.
That was a lot of directions for my mind to be taken.
Sharing is caring.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
If we are going to begin searching for the culprit, let's start with Kokichi's.
Heather doesn't care about me. How have we been going for 45 minutes already? Holy fuck.
You were meeting with Miu, but she ended up as the victim. So it's only natural for us to think you're the killer, right?
Here's my answer. I never met up with Miu.
Yeah, but you're a liar, though.
You didn't?
I tried to go to the roof to meet up with her, but the door was locked.
No.
Isn't lockpicking your specialty? You should have been able to open it easy.
I couldn't pick locks with my avatar body. I didn't have the tools for it either.
I'm sure the pieces in that line could be rearranged with like other voice clips of his to just come up with all of the suggestive shits. I don't even know where to begin.
Also,
He didn't
I
have
never
the
went to the roof,
tools on
not
his
even for the
body.
meeting.
Oh.
I remember. You and Gonta went off together when we first started looking.
He has no Cremo Supremo.
But was the door to the roof actually locked? When I was on the roof before logging out, the door wasn't locked.
Huh? How should I know?
Then who locks the door to the roof?
Well, if you're saying how should I know, well, you were there presumably, which is how you found out it was locked in the first place.
I already told
Otherwise, how would you know it was locked at all?
How should I know?
When I went to the roof, it wasn't locked, so you gotta be lying.
What good would it be if I lied? I don't want to die either, you know.
But you're constantly lying, you tit fuck.
Lying would do you a lot of good if you're the culprit.
Oh, get snapped. Get snacked upon.
Oh, I see. I didn't realize that.
What kind of response is that? That's suspicious as hell!
Wait, there's no point in arguing about that now. The truth will come out eventually.
It'll come out.
Before we get to that, we need to discover the truth behind Miu's death. Truth? There were mysterious circumstances surrounding her death.
Like the wall.
We need to make sense of those.
The wall!
My favorite used to be the Texas barbecue flavor, and I feel like either I've changed or they've changed. They're not as good as they used to be. They are still really nice. Like, they're still my number one favorite, but not by as wide a margin anymore.
You know your way around.
No one
this
believes
game.
me when I say that a lot of chips change their flavor, but
the hard
Utz
work.
changed their
The fate of
best
our lives rests
tasting
in your
chip ever,
hands.
and I just haven't
So,
been able
what
to
is
stomach
this
their
strange
honey barbecue
circumstance?
since.
Kokichi
And then
claims
second
it
place
was
is
Miu
sour
who
cream and onion,
chose
and
the
third place
meeting
is salt and
place.
vinegar. And they're all good. I've never had a bad Pringle.
But I'm wondering how she got from the chapel to the mansion's
I
roof.
did once in the mid-2000s have a Dorito that tasted like actual armpit sweat, though, and I don't know what flavor that was. I think it was discontinued.
Was it one of the rainbow ones?
Bridge connecting the mansion and chapel into the river
I think it was from a
itself.
purple bag.
I mean, it could just be that the spices were a little too out of control. Then.
If that's
I mean, it was the
case,
mid-2000s.
then
This was
you
it's a
might not
crazy
have even
time.
Gone to the roof.
But are they in the same order, though, Lozzie?
So she stood me up? It's very rude to break a promise.
Did the roof even really exist?
Miu
Oh,
was
boy.
waiting for me to arrive. I'm sure she was waiting on the rooftop of the mansion.
No, Miu should
But
have
wait,
been
hang
at
on a
the
minute.
chapel.
But Tsumugi was there and was like, hold on a fuck.
That's wrong!
She saw Mew, which in the grand scheme of things doesn't mean much because she could pass through the wall at will, but still.
Miu must have gone to the mansion. We have a witness.
We witnessed the wetness.
Yeah. When I was searching the dining room, I saw Miu pass by the window.
Tsurugi, you were useful for once.
Then why didn't you say so sooner?
Oh wow, fight.
Sorry. I thought I was just mistaken at first.
I remember those too, and then they stopped existing. I mean, to be fair, they were the worst of the 3 flavors at the time, and then Scampi and Lemon emerged, and then suddenly that pushed Cream and Cheesy out of existence, and also fought Rib and Saucy down into 3rd, and now Scampi and Lemon is 2nd, but Nice and Spicy will always be the supremest kind of knick-knack.
Since there was no way she could have come to the mansion. But I guess I wasn't mistaken after all. That was definitely Mew.
What?
Do you even have knickknacks in America?
No, but we do have Paddywhack.
How did she get to the mansion from the chapel?
There are no dogs involved, though. Plenty of bones, though.
Ah, good. Just
Lucky for you, I love Beyond the Bones.
Lucky for you, I love bones.
That's why she dropped the bridge. If a murder occurred when it was impossible to cross the river, she wouldn't be implicated. She used a secret method to move from the chapel to the mansion for the murder.
The wall. Shiggy diggy sus.
She dropped the bridge to make a huge scene just to let everyone know it's no longer there.
Scampi we have in the European section of supermarkets. Lemon Knick-Knack sounds like a cracker. What is Scampi?
It's a seafood thing, and I forget exactly what. It's like some
No
sort of
worries,
shellfish.
guys. As long as we
That
leave it
sounds
to
horrifying.
Shuichi, everything will be A-okay.
Thank goodness I don't live on the water. Know all
What do
about
you say?
seafood.
We can't just rely on
Or something.
Shuichi all the time. This class trial's for all of us. We're here to solve this together.
But Nice and Spicy remains the best flavor of knick-knack. That's the point here.
You would just slow down Shuichi.
Ow, my 4th wall.
Shut up!
Everybody's got a little outlaw in them. Right, we're talking about the way she got through, and she used the wall.
Like a hidden bridge besides that signboard maybe.
No.
Or instead of bridge, Mew used some kind of vehicle to go over.
Oh, that's so cute!
Or maybe she teleported with magic.
That's kind of cute, too.
Or she used a warp zone.
Du-du-du-du-du-du.
Maybe there's a place you could cross without a bridge.
Yes.
A hidden route that only to get across.
Hang on, there's the vagina.
I suppose it is possible she used that to change places.
What just happened? That...
That's it, Kibo. There was a hidden route only Mew could use.
I caught the statement as it was despawning. So Kibo finished delivering his line. He wasn't interrupted. That was cute.
Mew modified the program to add a special...
Is that how it
button
always
to the
plays
world.
out? Because that is the best thing, if that's actually how it usually happens.
Well, like, usually...
A
if
hidden
you-
route that she could... That's right!
Yeah, that's usually how it happens. But in this case...
The wall stretches along the y-axis, but we found 2 such walls in the virtual world. It's
But they're
unclear
both
whether
the
Mew
same
added the wall by
wall!
the mansion or the wall near the chapel. We do know that that wall was set so that only objects could pass through.
Don't be naive, Shuichi.
Kaito! You can't do that unless we're in the real world. We were looking at a picture.
What is it, Kaito?
Jeez, Mew set up a weird wall like that? That is suspicious.
Climb
But it's got nothing to
inside
do
a
with what we
dog.
were talking about.
Nothing to do with
It's got nothing to do with Waylon. But I'm saying it anyway.
Huh. You don't even realize your mistake? You losing your edge?
I am the edge.
Oh well, my sidekick's mistakes
Sup,
are my
my son.
mistakes.
Sup,
I'll make it
mama.
right.
Son, the edge. Ow, the edge.
Oof.
But yeah, she passed through it because she had her body set to be an object rather than a person. So I'm guessing.
What we gotta figure out.
I love how Shuichi has an actual face for I can't believe Kaido's that dumb.
It's pointless. We gotta take a whole new approach here.
I am the approach, baby.
Wait just a second.
Yeah.
It's not actually impossible at all.
But you just said so, didn't you? That wall Mew set up only lets non-human objects go through it. Humans aren't able to pass through. So Mew obviously wouldn't be able to go through that wall.
No, that's
He's
wrong.
not just an object after all.
Oh, but even though she behaves like one. But I will shove my sword right into your vagina, sir.
The wall wasn't the only thing that Mew changed.
Yeah, but I've only heard Outlawing and Calm After the Storm, so I'm not familiar.
She also changed her avatar settings from human to object.
From human to object?
She was a thing.
Which means the virtual world treated her avatar as an object. She could have passed through a wall that only non-humans could go through.
Which, to be fair, from a programming level, it's quite jarring. No, it's a very clever solution.
Is that right?
It's really quite jarring.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Kaito. We need to listen to everything
Can we just take a moment to
Shuichi
appreciate
says.
just Himiko's just there, just like that while this is going on. Her hat is just perpetually suspended in the air, not in her head. Jesus, I cannot speak English.
I already told you. The more you try, the more you cause us trouble. It's so totally lame that your own sidekick is dissing you!
Kokichi, enough! I wasn't arguing with him. I was just explaining.
I don't care. That doesn't
Now, I love
bother
how,
me at all.
within the diegesis of the game, if you lose all your hearts, that means you're not credible anymore, and so the trial spins out of control and they accuse Shuichi somehow, which, like, this game, it makes the least sense out of all. At least Makoto was suspicious, like, sufficiently suspicious throughout all of the first game, then Hajime not so much, and in this game just not at all.
Well, the thing with Hajime, that Hajime doesn't
Just means
even
even
tell
I
it.
make
He was
mistakes.
already an outsider
Don't worry about it,
regardless.
Shuichi.
And while they may be friends with him, if he slips up, there comes a point where it's probably likely that they would consider him something.
But then in this game, like, at this point, they've come to rely on Shuichi, because they're like, oh, hey, Shuichi knows what's up, we'll just leave it to him. And yet, just in this diegesis, Kaito would just interject out of nowhere with that rebuttal showdown. And by just shouting at him repeatedly, that would make Shuichi just, like, if he didn't respond by using his truth blades at all, that would whittle down his HP to 0, and then the whole trial would end because Kaito's just like, yeah, but I don't understand this thing. Friend, bro, you must be the culprit.
I get the impression that in this game they were hoping it was set up that,
It's
well,
pretty funny
we
seeing
set up
Kaito
the whole
try to
trial
act all
thing
tough like this.
and accused Kaede back in the first case,
Which, like,
simply because Shuichi figured that out. So Shuichi's not trustworthy. Maybe he did end up killing Rentaro.
Avocado boy.
Avocado boy. I like
that's
that.
nothing.
That's easier to remember.
If you gamed over during Kaede's portion of the first trial, what? I'm assuming they would still blame Shuichi, and then that's why it's a game over.
Kokichi, please
That'd be
refrain from
interesting.
making such irrelevant
I'm not
and
going to test it though.
irrational
I don't want
remarks.
to. I don't like failing on purpose.
So, if
Not
the
even to
real
go back and
Western program
experiment.
made a
No,
wall
never.
only she could go through.
Did you know
what I'm like with experimentation, Heather?
the
Her
wonderful?
secret route was through that wall.
I'll come back to that, sweetie.
That's
The Wonderful 101
like using
is a
glitch
really
in
interesting
to
game
walk
for me
outside the
because
map.
it's got some of the easiest QuickTime events ever. Essentially, it tells you to mash a button, and as long as you push it once, you're fine. But if you fail a QuickTime event, there's almost always something really comical that happens. They animated all these really funny failure states that no one's ever going to see because
And which
QuickTime
game are you
events
talking
are just
about?
that easy. Wonderful 101.
Ah.
Because Mew
The Hickman meets Beautiful Joe game.
Yeah.
Where Bayonet is a playable character. Bayonet is a playable character.
She probably lied. There would be
Hang
no
on a minute, there's a
point in
Bayonetta
going if there was
Pikmin?
nothing on the other side.
Yes, there's a Bayonetta Pikmin, a Jean
Oh, there's
Pikmin.
boobs?
My.
Oh, there's cheese!
Is this Alex? Oh, there's boobs.
I wonder what the truth is. There's no way to find out now.
That cum-soaked urinal cake was totally lying about there being nothing past the wall.
That is quite a thing to say, Kokichi.
She lived a life of pride, vulgarity, and secrets. Lying would be a piece of cake for her.
Kokichi,
Boobs?
you don't have to go that far.
Bees?
Stop it! Don't badmouth Mommy!
Also, earlier today, I put a questionable Photoshop on my Tumblr, just of Meryl Streep. It's Meryl Streep, but her face is Stroop waffles.
K?
Listen to
Oh dear, but
talking
K.
about Mommy like she was a terrible lying whore. But Mommy wasn't lying. There was no hidden route in that virtual world.
Oh, there wasn't, huh?
Hey! You can't tell them such an important hint!
Oh, if you say that hint is important, then I guess it must be true.
Fuck's sake, children.
Oh, shoot!
Now you're both gonna die.
Jeez. You're lucky you're cute.
So now that we know there's no hidden route, why did she manipulate the program?
Oh, North Macedonia. I'm just glad they've all calmed their tits about it, to be honest.
If there's actually nothing past the wall, then that setting was meaningless.
I'm just trying to work out, like, Republic of North Macedonia. I thought maybe it was like Rumpy Pumpy on Naked Mountain.
You wouldn't have done something meaningless. She would have had a plan.
Rhubarb, oranges, nadamelons.
Yes, Mew definitely wanted to be able to go through that wall for a reason. We aren't sure why yet, but once we solve the mystery of the virtual world...
Mystery of virtual world?
Meow.
There have been a lot of strange occurrences in the virtual world.
For fuck's sake, children.
If we can determine why,
I'm so
we
quotable.
will also determine what Mew was up to. We'll know why she wanted to pass through the wall.
All right, let's clear up those strange occurrences.
Yeah, Gonta will help, even though Gonta not know what you're talking about.
Speaking of strange occurrences, I'm just plain worried about that one thing.
Just plain worried, because that's part of her image. Samugi, best go.
Remember? That thing that made us notice all the strange occurrences?
What, the Kashitchi blob? Like the thing that started
That's
it all.
on top.
Oh.
This is it! The Kasplushitty crack. The only onomatopoeia that contains the phrase shitty
The
crack.
loud sound that you and I heard in the kitchen?
Oh, the loud sound you and I made in the kitchen. Can you get pregnant in the virtual world?
Oh, that'd be hot. Specific. Never mind. I'm not going there.
It seems like something that Mew would program.
Well, I mean, maybe that's why she made it so that Kokichi couldn't move.
Oh.
You all heard that sound too?
Yes, in the mansion's kitchen.
But that sound occurred near the chapel. How did you hear it all the way at the mansion?
Happy clappy Christian chappies in their happle clapple Christian chapels.
First off, sound can't go through the map loading point.
I finally said it.
Did that sound really come from the chapel?
That sound was something hitting the chapel wall. It was real loud.
Clearly it was a toboggan.
And we definitely heard it. We heard Kibo's voice as well.
Oh, yes. Thud. Oh, there's trees! It's evidence.
You heard my voice too?
What? That is pretty strange.
Exactly. That has to be some kind of clue to the mystery of the virtual world.
Okay, well, let's check the answers later and try to find all the other clues first. There was another mysterious phenomenon in the virtual world, wasn't there?
There were two. D's nuts! Ha ha! Got him!
Kokichi talked like he noticed something. Pretending not to know?
Even Gonta is suspicious of me? I always thought you would be the one to trust me!
Gonta, Daddy.
Sorry, Gonta not mean it like that.
There's no need to apologize to him. He's probably just lying again.
What was the other strange occurrence? Did you see it, Shuichi?
It was the donut. Wait, that was 2 chapters ago. Oh shit, this. What even... Wait, what's the button? Okay, it's soup. Okay, and the question is, what was the weird that wodled? What wumped? What? But it's the sign, though. Why do I need to uncover the whole picture? I'm offended. Really? Really? It's there, thank you! Fucking pinnacle pumpkins. You know, when you go to the top of Pumpkin Hill, and there's Parmesan cheese.
Sign that we were using this.
I know
What,
Daddy's
we're the
here, I
lost
can sense him in
tower?
my feet.
Find the lost cheese? Are you kidding?
Parmesan
that makes perfect
cheese.
sense.
Odd how? We mentioned it before.
Oh, that's right, you're
but
British, you
dropped
say
the sign in the river.
That's funny.
Because it's Parmesan. It's spelled Parmesan. In Italian, it's Parmesan. Y'all Americans are mixing it up with, I forget which city it's from, but there's a type of cheese called Parmigiano, which is a different type of cheese entirely. Parmesan is Parmesan, bitches! There is an H in herbs. Cheese is a type of meat, a tasty yellow beef. You can milk it from your teats, but please, keep it discreet.
I will, don't worry.
Oh! Oh, we're doing this again. Oh, the cubes are moving! We must access the octahedron.
Access the octahedron.
Pepsi.
This is the most wonderful thing about Why would they change their name?
I love how Shuichi's head kind of bobs when he steers, by the way.
Oh, that is him, isn't it?
How are you other cars not seeing these cubes? Oh. Hang on, what does that even mean? I mean, it was...
Every single time I see you hit one, expecting a...
I mean, it was the river, wasn't it? Because it went swoosh in the water. But he's still thinking about Tsumugi, by the way. Is it just because we dated her? What about Kaito? He's our Man Crush Wednesday, our Husbando Hump Day. Intense concentration. Oh, there's Mew. More specifically, the sight of her corpse. Which he's also thinking about in the same mental breath as his waifu. Shuichi, you're nasty. Oh, you're nasty.
It's nasty.
Kumbaya, you're nasty. Well, as far as our perception goes, the river flows towards the Ep Chapepe. You know, despite the negative press Chapepe. Because it flows chapelwards. But it ends up next to the mansion. I'm assuming that's what the next question is. See, I'm expecting these cubes to just, like, suddenly lurch to one side when we're just about to collect them. They aren't octahedrons, though. Or are they? No, because octahedrons have triangles. Something about, nuns surfing. Ribbled for your pleasure.
What? Okay.
You remember Chaotix Versus?
Yes, but still.
You know, nuns on Ripple. I put a boogie dollar down, Mama's got the nasty jam.
Are you coming on to me?
7 now, 1.
Chaos.
It's not. This is not part of the deal. It's not over. There's more. Very narrow road. How could I avoid children? He's thinking about Tsumugi's boobs again. What is this game? Oh, cubes. Not to be confused with Quoobs. And Portal ripping off. And is that Quoob? Is it Quoob? The director's cut of Quoob that ripped off Portal, or is that? There are several Cube-related games in my Steam library.
Yes, Cube is one of them.
Is it pronounced Cube? Because I look at it and I see Quoob.
I see Quoob. It's pronounced Cube. The original is so good too.
See, I have both. I think it gave me both when I bought just one. No, it went against the current and towards the raisin. Thing is, it went with the current and then wrapped around. So technically both is right, but from our perception. God, that was 4 questions. My lumpy wife. I don't have a wife.
It appeared as though the sign was carried against the river's current.
Oh, I just realized observing that Gonta Daddy is not in the corner of the stream like he hasn't been for several weeks now. Not just, Gonta Daddy, don't pee in the corner.
We all saw Mew drop the sign and watch the river carry it
Finally on the
downstream.
silhouette.
And the river was wide there. The sign should have traveled downriver toward the chapel, correct?
People worrying about what's the NX going to be called, and Nintendo's like, switch, bitch.
Of the chapel and stopped
Another
there.
one in the basket. Pregnant. Katy Perry.
But that's not where we found it. We found it near the mansion, nestled in some rocks.
Nestled. Imagine if those rocks hadn't been there, though. We just go down to the river and just see twee, and then twee a second time, and then twee a third time. Just this sign in an infinite loop of moisture. Moisture.
The signboard should have been near the chapel, but we found it on the other side.
Hold up. Didn't you stay on the chapel side? She probably grabbed the signboard from the chapel wall to cross the river.
You know what? That does make sense.
Then left it on the boulders near the mansion so she could get back.
Why would she leave the signboard where it could get swept away and leave her stranded?
And that's also a valid counterpoint there, Kibo.
Also, this has nothing to do with walking through the wall, right? We're getting off topic.
I love how Kaede's ghost is still haunting the stream.
We're so close to the truth. We just have to connect the how and what.
And I misread what as meat. We just have to connect the how and meat.
All the mysterious things that happened have to connect with each other somehow.
Connect how?
Connect for.
A wall only objects can pass through. Sounds that shouldn't be heard. A signboard going against the river current. How are they all connected?
The wall, the wall, the wall.
I don't know, but Shuichi should know, right?
Left.
We would be in a lot of trouble if you didn't.
Also, I've been thinking about how the in-game character sprites would look for Chaos Potentia Est, and
the only one
like how
who can solve this mystery and save us all.
I don't remember if I discussed this on stream, but I did point out to Heather how all the ultimates have circles like inside their eyes. Like, hang on. Like, yeah, like there on Kokichi, like there's like a circle inside his eye, and Hajime had like a line going through that, like a no entry sign. Tess's has to be a hexagon. Like, it's still a circle inside the eye, it's just hexagonal.
Mm-hmm.
It would just suit, it would suit Ultimate Clairvoyant Tess.
So, how are they connected? Do you know, Shuichi?
Ah, well, what we know so far is that the unnatural way the sign was carried is possibly related to the wall.
Trust me, when I get into cosplay, I'm gonna get, like, who knows how much, but I'll handle that whenever I end up doing it.
This is it!
Although, Nia's new. Can you imagine?
Yes, yes I can.
That only objects can pass through.
Good, I'm already halfway.
When
I die, you bet. My grave or whatever.
The sign should have stopped at the wall on the other side.
Which means you have to memorize all the words to You Irumored in the Wrong Neighborhood.
But if that wall happened to be the one that Mew
It's a beautiful day in the name.
I see. It's a wall only non-humans can pass through.
That would be so cute, Luzzy. I will keep that in mind when I'm commissioning the sprites. When I have the money to do so.
That means the signboard can pass through the wall, right?
Even if it could pass through the chapel wall, how did it end up by the mansion?
Is it just me? Or is this so much easier to figure out than the funhouse was in the previous game, and yet they're taking just as long to figure it out?
But it's not, right?
This is easier to figure out. Funhouse.
Yeah.
The funhouse was like a proper mind bender. This is, well, clearly the world loops. Like, that's not that hard.
Like, I think it's supposed to be easier than the funhouse as well, and yet they're taking just as long to figure out. Like, they're going through every last detail. Like, no one's come out and suggested it. Like,
your partner will give you hints.
surely someone would have stepped up and said, "Hey, I think the walls might loop."
This is the virtual world. we should throw away all of our common sense, okay?
Huh? The hell does that even mean?
Go nuts for donuts. What are you reminded of, Lozzie? Oh, Lozzie, my Lozzie. Well, upstream and downstream are the same stream.
That's it!
They're both on my stream. Ha ha! Waha! Waha! Waha!
Both ends of the river were connected.
Huh? Both ends of river connected?
Exactly. To put it another way, the river isn't cut off at the wall near the chapel.
Nearly misread that as sinning, though. Stick to writing and sinning.
It's all part
Don't we
of
all?
one big loop. The upstream part of the river is connected to it.
What? What are you talking about? Both ends of the river can't...
Again, throw out all common sense from your head. We're talking about the virtual world.
Then what about the wall? There was only one wall that could be passed through.
But it's just this
Right.
same wall!
Even if the river's connected,
It really
goes
isn't
through
a
the
difficult
chapel wall.
concept!
Oh my god, so they're still going?
Mansion wall too.
Yep. Water.
I got it! I know why Mew only set up one wall.
Zeltzer? What is that, clear carbonated milk?
Oh,
What are you talking about now?
We don't even call it Zeltzer, we don't even have it.
you have mineral water, right?
It's just bottled water, that's all it is.
No, that's different.
That's it!
Very different. Yeah, you really? Because in France they don't have lamina or whatever.
Same wall.
The same wall?
This is
It's not
shocking
just
to
the
me. It's
river.
apparently
The
big in
walls
France,
themselves
according to
are
all the
connected.
student teachers from Canada we got.
They do have sparkling water on the continent, and they have flat bottled water on the continent, and...
Don't think of it as two separate walls, but a single wall parallel to the y-axis.
I mean, that's the whole thing
That
of
single
carbonation
wall divides
would
the
be that
entire
like
virtual
originally it started as a tonic thing, and then somebody said, "Hey, it feels good. Let's add sugar," and then soda was born.
Hang on a minute, are you talking about having... Why would you put sugar in it as well?
The idea is, you
No,
pass
that's
through the wall
what
by the
soda is.
chapel and
I mean,
come out by the
flavoured,
mansion.
sure, but not just water.
But yeah, no, it's water plus carbonation, and then the next step up is soda, which is water, carbonation, syrup, and sugar.
This all, of course, coming several steps after step one!
See, did
You weren't
I
there for
tell
that,
you?
Heather.
Everything
more for
is
Laura.
connected.
Step
Damn
one,
it, Kokichi.
get a
Just tell
bottle,
us.
I guess.
It's okay.
Pour water in the
More importantly, this is the final
That's how you
stretch.
ride a dong.
If both the river and wall are connected, then you can find the secret.
Just shoot it sideways and just move the map and just make
You already know the secret, right?
They're still going. Jeez. Luca would have figured this out.
Hold her to that.
I will.
Oh,
She'll
it's
get here
this?
eventually.
God, I forget how all the... Like, we literally did a minigame based on this before. Okay. And what's the question? I'm seeing a lot of... Is that... Oh, that is an... Oh. In that case... I'm starting to seize... Okay. We have world. I have a pen. I have an apple. I mean, I'm presuming we're going for loop. Oh, there's a...
Wraps, perhaps? The world wraps around?
You know what? That made sense, but I already put in loops and it fits, so...
There we go.
You know... Spool
Yes,
draw.
that's it. The virtual world is a loop.
Really, with the way that the pathway actually connects, I'm surprised no one else got that.
Because, like, it loops perfectly either way, to be fair. Because, like, I put it in Microsoft Paint and switched it over.
Just like in old games, right? Like, for example, when a character goes off the left side of the screen and reappears on the right.
Yes, exactly. The edges
Just
of the
show
virtual
us a
world are
corrected
linked
version of the
together
map like
in a
you did in the
continuous
previous
loop.
game.
Didn't they already show that earlier, like during the investigation?
They didn't show a corrected version of the map, they only showed the map itself.
Oh. Huh.
Which, like, they made a big deal of, Mew made this map.
If that's true, it would explain the way the signboard was swept away.
You know what I bet? I bet they got a lot of
It vanished
for
into the wall
the Strawberry
downstream
Grape
of the river.
building. And
How
this
that
is their
same wall
attempt to
upstream.
apologize. Like, see?
Don't ask me for anything.
Oh, references.
And floated with the current until it got caught on the
Smash is
rocks.
overrated, fight me, internet.
What was the world
It got
like before Mew?
24 minutes out of a 50-minute cast for E3.
Actually, there wasn't a wall on the y-axis at all, and the x-axis was set to loop.
To say it's gonna be stellar is underplaying it, of course, but at the same time, we didn't get any Metroid 4, Prime 4.
It's been 2
Metroid
years since they
Prime
announced
4.
Yoshi for the Switch.
Right, and we didn't
But at least
even
it's
see
not a
any
boring answer.
3 as I
It
recall.
also explains all the things that happened.
Then again, I really couldn't.
It doesn't explain everything.
Yoshi's craft and crackle, craft and craft. I don't know.
And from what little I
Woolly
remember,
World,
it looks
so
more
good.
like a papercraft version, or arts and crafts version of Yoshi's story compared to any, like, whereas Woolly World is more like Island, but the Untitled one seems more like story. But
which I'd be fine with.
Yeah, sound
Like
doesn't go
Yoshi's
past
story
that
should get a
loading
game that's like that. Of
Actually,
course.
If we know that the world is a loop,
But
we can...
It just, I really like. Woolly World
hot
is like
take,
the
though.
best.
Nintendo's E3 presentation this year was actually really fucking lukewarm at best, but no one will, like, oh no, you're just saying that to be edgy, it was one of the best ever because they're Smash wank.
Do people say that? People are wrong. This is one of the most boring E3.
It was so,
I'm so glad I didn't watch it.
It was so tepid mediocre, like the only good game they announced was, and I say this in air quotes, was Super Mario Party, and even then, I'm holding off judgment on that just because there could still be some fuck with it. All the other games I didn't give a fuck about. Like, Xenoblade Chronicles, never played it, never plan on playing it. I don't care about it as a series. I appreciate it, but I don't care about it. I don't even remember what else was mentioned, but oh, Smash, 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 wank, wank, wank. It's not a good franchise. It's not even a franchise.
Where the loop starts.
Obviously, that has nothing to do with how good it is, but it's not good. And internet, fight me. Literally, instead of getting all pissy and telling me that I'm wrong, explain to me why and let's have a conversation about it, because at the moment, I am not convinced.
One of these days I'd love to, Taps, don't worry. But, more importantly, this was just
important
in general. I'm just gonna have to go back through and see all the FromSoft games and all the games modeled after the games FromSoft used to make. And once I have all of those under my belt, it's really just Smash that I care about, and that's it. It's very, very, very dully.
There!
The middle of the map. We've been over this.
The map loading point was where the virtual world looped. We thought the loading point was in the middle of the map.
Are they finally gonna fix this? Oh, yes!
Was actually at the edges.
Thank you, Shuichi.
So the wall Mew created wasn't at the edges of the world.
Satisfied.
Finally.
Sweet release.
Her world was at the center of the world.
I see. So the mansion and chapel were near each other, with a wall between them. And any sounds emitted near the chapel would also reach the mansion.
Probably not, Laura. There was no Animal Crossing. I'ma start a riot.
The wall only allows
That was the
non-humans
thing
to
everyone
pass
was
through, so sound should be able to pass through easily.
That's right. That's how the virtual world works.
But I mean, so much Pokemon. How is it Animal Crossing?
Oh yeah, the new Pokemon games that I feel like I should be excited about, and I'm just not.
Impressive, Shuichi!
Still waiting on
For you to
really.
get
I
this
don't care
far.
about anything else.
Yes.
To get to Gen 8.
Yes! You are useful indeed!
For you to get this far, what are you, some villain pulling the strings?
Actually, yes.
Nope. Mew pulled the strings here, not me.
You're pulling
Remember?
each other's strings.
Mew also set this trap.
Needs more
It all
bees.
began when Mew showed us the map.
And strings.
Because of the map, we mistakenly thought the loading point was at the center.
I'm surprised they're not using the climax return music here like they did in Chapter 4 of the second game when Nagito started explaining everything and he was just wrong about everything.
Which in turn made the mansion and chapel seem farther away from each other.
But the structure of the world wasn't actually like that.
They showed the animation again.
There was a wall along the y-axis, and the x-axis came around in a loop.
By putting that wall in the center of that world, she cut off the loop.
Well, I think personally, being a furry, I'd want to be able to play as an animal, but that's just me. I know that's not actually gonna ever happen.
Since Mew showed us that map, we were caught in her trap.
I would say more fruit, but they added those in the 3DS game. I think bigger towns and like make it be more forgiving with how often you play.
But we solved this mystery.
Like make it more like Stardew Valley in terms of time.
Hail
really.
our savior!
Yeah. If Shuichi
Also,
wasn't here,
more storage for
we never
everything.
would solve this mystery.
I've been playing the game for like 6 years since it was released now, and my letters are nearly full, and my storage is nearly full. And okay, storage not so much. They fixed that in an update, but letter storage, please.
Thanks, Shuichi. You saved us.
You're welcome.
Just because we found out the virtual world's secret doesn't mean we can take it easy yet. Actually, this culprit hunt just got to the exciting part.
There's a dumb thought. What would you want in an Animal Crossing Switch game? Sex scenes! No.
Even if we know all the tricks, it's pretty meaningless.
I'm just
if we
saying,
don't find the
Alfonso
culprit.
is daddy as fuck. Except he's not. Alfonso is bae.
That's how a class trial works, after all.
Kokichi talking like Monokuma again.
No matter what you say, I'm not gonna believe your lies. I'm gonna believe in everyone. That's how I'm gonna reach the truth.
Oh, Kaito, you're so precious.
I can't wait to see what happens next.
Oh, Kaito, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Kaito. Hey, Kaito. And that too, Lozzie, yes. Shuichi, what a pity, don't you understand? You take me by the heart when you take me by the hand. Fucking hell. Whatever happened to Lolly anyway? I don't even remember, like, I think that song was covered by her. It wasn't originally her song, but that's how I found out about her. No, what happened to her? I remember her, and now she might as well be dead. What? Who is Lopez? Oh, wait, yeah, the one with the face. Okay, never mind, I remember Lopez. But still, Alfonso, though. Oh, good, an intermission. Because Swedes can't pronounce S-I-O-N for some reason. Oh, sure, I will save my pancreas. Hanky-panky is short for pancreas. Or handkerchief pancreas. It's up to you. Period! Bears don't have periods, do they? Like, primates do, and I could swear that the closest other animals get is just being in heat, and that's not quite the same thing.
And another. Yeah?
She does panto. Okay, cool.
Ah.
Monacoba's been working at Freddy's. He is.
Oh no.
He's the spare bear. He's the spare. Despair.
No, no.
Foxy is also bae. I've come around to Bonnie as well. And actually, okay, Freddy's like, basically, they're all hot.
The thing that really gets me still is that Bonnie's apparently the scariest one for Scott. So, like, all the horror that, like, Freddy's the ring. No, apparently Bonnie's the one that really freaked him out during development.
Really freaked his bean. Bean freak.
Granted, Bonnie's always been my... Makes sense, but, like, I never thought...
Bonnie's always been my... And then there was silence. And yes, Lozzie, yes I do, and in fact I slept with him yesterday. Like, not in a sexual way. Just hugs.
Oh. Oh, we were talking about Foxy. Okay.
But what were you saying though? Because it cut out.
Oh, Bonnie's always been my favorite of the main four. Like, I like Chica enough. Bonnie's okay. Freddy's just kind of there. Foxy's just kind of there. But a Purple Bunny? I mean, purple is my thing, so.
I just can't remember.
Foxy has always been my favorite. But they're all good. They're all hot.
Have you ever just watched the playlist of all the Five Nights at Freddy's game theories, like, in a row? It's the only thing from that channel
I've watched all of them, but just not in sequence. I watched them as they came out.
If you go in sequence, it's actually a really fun study of evolution. I still think the first one was the best because, you know, Chuck E. Cheese.
Incest in the morning. Chugga.
This is no, I can't say it. This is
what?
This is a public stream. I can't. No, hush.
How to tell if my cow is pregnant?
But there we go. Exactly.
The colossal death flag. I'll be surprised if he doesn't die after that.
Can cows get
Let's continue the
pregnant?
conversation where we left off.
Can ooh down a 20-foot water slide pregnant?
We understand.
Will my get
We need to
pregnant?
find out who killed her.
And in order to
36
figure
plus
that
2
out,
weeks.
we need to understand
Pregnant.
How many teens get pranked a year?
I can't
So
not
let's
think of the
discuss her murder
Zootopia.
scheme step by
Oh.
step.
Why did I do that to myself?
I know that's important, but hearing you lead the conversation really pisses me off.
A kilogram of feathers is heavier because you have to live with the weight of what you did to those birds. I'm a broken record.
You manipulated the virtual world
still
to
good.
use it as part of her murder plan.
Don't just ignore me and start anyway.
If she had succeeded, she would have gone past the wall between the chapel and mansion. And then wham! Murdered me on the roof with the hammer.
What if she murdered the hammer using you as a roof?
She would make the murder seem like it happened in the real world, and then pin it on Kaito.
Like, that would be a really interesting alternative ending to this chapter, and I hope someone does that at some point, just as a
As
fan
for
work.
Miu's alibi in the real world, she could say she was locked into the virtual world. And in the virtual world, she could say she was near the chapel the entire time.
She'd make an excuse about how she couldn't reach the mansion because of the fallen bridge.
Misread fallen as fellatio, the fellatio bridge. Sach with 2 C's.
Bleh.
No. Why isn't this sepia toned?
Drop the bridge on purpose.
Flashbacks
so she
usually
could
sepia.
separate the chapel from the mansion.
Also, Kokichi's name tag is wrong if it's a flashback.
Then secretly passed through the wall she installed and took advantage of the loop.
Oh, Lozzie, you're so precious. What did we do to deserve your ass?
She headed to where we were supposed to meet up, the mansion's rooftop. Oh yeah, Kaito was probably logged out around that time too.
That's when I saw Mew.
Yeah, because Heartbeat abandoned us because he had something to take
Problem
care
is,
of.
because of her murder plans, we don't even know where she was killed.
She was killed on the roof, right? Kokichi told us the roof door was locked and that he couldn't get through.
Maybe that when culprit killed her.
That's probably what happened. The culprit killed her on the locked roof.
And then what, yoked her over the border?
Lock the door to the roof?
Perhaps. I don't think Mew did it. If Mew did lock
They
it,
stopped
she
eatling
would
the
have done it when
stops.
she called Kokichi to the roof. Even if someone came up, I don't believe she would change the target of her plan. She knew that Kokichi would come up later. Locking the door would be suspicious.
Well, it's possible she didn't even think that far ahead.
She was Mew after all.
She was smart, but she was also really, really dumb.
Well said, Himiko.
No say such mean things. Killing game bad, not Mew. Mew not bad person. Grown to think we could have been friends, if things different.
Oh, gone to daddy, so precious.
That might have been difficult, even without this killing game.
That wouldn't happen.
Nuh-uh. No way, Jose.
Scrum debate. Would Mew have been friends with Gonta?
Anyway, let's continue the discussion. If Mew was killed on the roof of the mansion, the culprit must have moved Mew's avatar to the chapel after killing her, right?
So they just threw her off the roof, and then she went.
The next thing we should talk about is how they moved her avatar.
And look at all
Now
that
we know
roof.
The mansion and chapel were actually next to each other. But the problem is the wall between them.
Just make it go shwoo.
Only Mew was able to go through that wall. The culprit wouldn't have been able to.
Then you're saying the culprit sent Mew's avatar through that wall?
Yeah, the only thing they could have done is, like, literally. Oh, I said this earlier, didn't I? Fucking hell. Toboggan her down the side of the roof.
Yeah, that's the only way, right?
But how did the culprit send Mew's avatar through the wall?
I was expecting him to say Mew's asshole, and I don't know why. Just remove her anus and throw that over separately.
I mean, it's not like they could have thrown her.
Don't not throw her!
We know. You couldn't because the avatar's physical strength was equalized.
Physical strength equalized? That problem. Gonta no can protect everyone if that happens.
Which is exactly what you said when we were in the virtual world, which makes me think that... does that mean that Gonta doesn't, like... Gonta does, like, he's talking about like he doesn't understand the world. Does he genuinely not remember it?
Jeez, keep
Ooh.
up with us. We're already in the
Like,
second
that
half
sort of
the
feeds back into
class
my idea
trial.
of the avatar error was him. Which means he could have killed Mew and he doesn't even remember.
How did they send Mew's avatar to the other side of the wall? Maybe that thing has something to do with it. You know, the loud sound you heard.
I do still appreciate that Tenko is crossed out with a manji kind of thing. Like, it doesn't look Hitlery, but it's still, like, it's clearly a manji without being a swastika. I appreciate that. It's good design.
I mean, it's still going in. Yeah.
Because of that sound, you guys went to
That's
the
not
side
the
of
reason
the
why
chapel.
I really want to
Right,
get...
Keyboy?
I agree, Lozzie. I absolutely agree. That's
when
another
you
reason why I
found the
really
dead
want to
music,
hurry up and get the the sprites for Chaos Potentia Est, so that I can make the the dead portraits, because I intend to make dead portraits for all 16 students, regardless of whether they die or not, because I just want to see what designs I could come up with for how they're crossed out.
If so, I think
But
that sound
I had planned
and
on
her
using
avatar being
pink
by the
crosses for them,
chapel
like in the
are
second game,
related.
whereas games 1 and 3 have used red crosses, but I would use pink.
Meow.
Meow. But it would be personalized to each individual, like it is in this game, and the previous game as well, kind of. Like, some were and some weren't, as I recall. Like, I think the victims weren't personalized and the culprits were, or something random like that. Mew.
That's
Because
it.
she went yeet down the wall.
I
Well,
think
roof
the sound
into
came
wall.
from Mew's avatar hitting the chapel wall.
As demonstrated just then by my keyboard sliding off my leg and into the end of my bed. Don't know if y'all heard that.
Hammer, cell phone, and lattice were there, but they were too small to make that noise. Ruling those out, the only other explanation is that the sound was Mew colliding with a wall.
If that's the case, Mew's avatar must have hit the chapel
Just looking at
wall really hard.
Shuichi's virtual world avatar.
the impact
If you float him
all
in
the way
water,
from
would he
the
always
inside of the
magnetize so that his
castle.
hair spike points north?
Yeah, that's the real question. Mew's avatar probably hit the chapel's wall with pretty considerable force. But why did it hit the wall with such force? Can you guys figure it out?
Well, she went sweet.
Hold on, Kokichi. What's up with the way you're talking? Why are you talking like you know everything?
Let's not worry about that right now. More importantly, we gotta solve the mystery. Fighting among friends is a waste of time.
See, it really does seem like Gonta did it, but it was Kokichi's plan.
Friends? Us?
Anyway, can we talk about that after we figure this problem out?
Sibugi has so many lines, I love it.
A way of
Especially
changing
since
Mew's
Kokichi
avatar
being
that
on-
would cause it to crash into the chapel.
Try again, Heather. For some reason, you cut out quite substantially.
Especially since Kokichi's being so chill about it. Come on, friends! Sorry, come, friends! Let us solve this mystery together as one.
As your partner?
Yeah, no, it definitely feels like he's gonna be like the one.
Hang on a minute, just... You, fuck buddies. Me, an intellectual. Come, friends.
the mansion was on top of a hill.
Tess,
the
I don't
roof was
even.
pretty high up.
I don't have words for that.
Meow.
Past the brick handrail, the roof was at a pretty steep slope. And the slope faced the chapel wall. On top of that, there was snow on the roof.
Well, she definitely went swoodle.
If the culprit needed force to move the body, I wonder
Gravity.
how they did it.
Okay. But really? You're using this to figure it out? Well, she slid, I guess. Hang on a minute. Is that what it looks like?
Slid off.
It is! We found Monokuma! Girls hit your Monokuma, woo. Yeah, they fell off levitated ruin. They slid off the roof. No.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Such a good song. It's more like a
Use the sloped roof as a slide for Mew's
manta ray.
avatar.
Tails. It's a manta ray.
Slide? Aw, man. Even with the slope and the snow, Mew's body wouldn't have slid.
Wrong. It would slide.
But the avatars can generate friction. We wouldn't have been able to walk otherwise. So I doubt that it would have had that much momentum.
No. It would slide.
Why French?
It wouldn't slide, just like Maki Roll said.
It would slide, just like Shumai said.
Who the hell is Shumai?
It's a very good question.
Oh, he's a pupil of Ramen Man.
Ramen Man.
Sorry, my hobby slipped in.
Why does it want me to lie about this? Well, I mean, the only other thing would be the signboard, I guess?
Would it slide off that quickly?
Well, duh, it would.
Whoosh, 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 whoosh.
It made that much noise. It must have built up a lot of speed.
Spears.
Lots of snow piled up on roof. But not frozen solid, right?
I mean, it's
It'd
virtual
still
snow.
slide, though.
In the real world, it might be difficult. But in the virtual world, perhaps not.
Spin.
That's not the issue. Sliding down snow is easy to do. You just need a sled or skis to cut the friction.
There was nothing like
Vagina lie.
I'll reveal the truth.
I even know how I lied there. Like, I'm not sure what the reverse of a signboard is.
There was something the culprit could have used to slide the body. The signboard.
the signboard.
That's the only way I could think to lie about that.
You put Mew's body on top and use it as a kind of sled.
You could use it to slide the body, but the signboard we used as a bridge was the only one. The culprit couldn't have used that signboard as a sled.
Ah, I get it now.
What if there was another signboard?
Huh? Another
See,
one?
I never, when I write the trials for Chaos Percentage S, I always forget why they lie. It's not to move the thing forward, it's to draw out someone else's, it's to make someone else slip up. See, I put one in Chapter 2 where they lie and it becomes the truth just because it's a misconception, but it ends up being right.
The signboard?
Which is cleverer.
There were actually two there, but I only brought one. The culprit must have used the other one as a sled.
But then why did Mew say there was only one signboard?
To mislead us. She was planning a crime after all.
Okay, Lozzie, are you still here, by the way? He says. Oh, Kokichi's poo-hooing.
Oh my god! That line was so cringy! Stop, my stomach hurts! Wow, Shuichi is lying on purpose! Are you trying to spice up the class trial
in that case,
too?
Lozzie, top 3 husbandos and top 3 waifus from Danganronpa V3. Just 3 of each. Keep it spicy.
What Shuichi just said was a lie?
Kokichi, I was the only one who went and got the signboard. Only I saw them. So why do you think I'm lying?
Because I know. I know the culprit. And the whole trick.
Weird how he's just owning this.
What?
Then tell us! We can put an end to this class trial right now!
I could tell you, but I think we should save the best for last. Even if I told you, would you guys really believe a liar like me?
I mean, good point.
I could be lying about knowing who the culprit is for all you know.
What?
This doesn't mean all of Shuichi's deductions are lies, you know. You're right about the culprit putting Mew on a sled and sliding her down the roof. But instead of a sled, they used that thing from the storage room on the roof.
You mean the lattice, right?
It didn't look like a lattice. It was a pallet, yeah, but it wasn't a lattice because they were all parallel. They were parallel and perpendicular. I mean, I guess they are in a lattice too, but there were no diamonds involved. What's the use of feeling blue?
In the storage room on the roof. I saw the lattice.
You'll appreciate that later, Heather.
Yes. I'm sure I will at some point.
I saw that it was gone.
The lattice that was found next to the chapel is the one that disappeared from the roof? Then that's it. The culprit used the lattice as a sled.
The culprit used the lettuce as a sled. Or sledge, excuse you.
That's correct!
Why the loading screen? This isn't Sonic
After the
06.
culprit
Oh,
killed Mew
hello!
on the rooftop, they placed her corpse on a sled and slid her down the roof's steep slope.
Wait, does that mean that the closing argument is going to be really fucking cute? Are we going to have Chibi Killer Man person, Buzzsaw Man
Sled
pants?
picked up speed, flew off the roof, glided through the wall only objects could.
Oh yeah, that's right. I want
the chapel.
World look chibi. That'd be so good.
Wow. Your girl Lozzie's got some taste.
Yeah.
The impacts made all of her belongings scattered,
Shuichi's still
including the
alive.
hammer and cell.
Just like that hedgehog who
Oh.
loses all his rings whenever he crashes into stuff.
Nice.
I hate that guy and his worldwide fame and his stupid games, and I hate that.
I'm so glad they got that right. I think I may have seen that on Twitter, and I was convinced they made it up.
I know you've heard this line because it was in that Sonic Forces mod, but I didn't know if either that was from the one of the games I'd already played and I'd just forgotten about it or what. But there we go. That's where that line's from.
I'm glad you're feeling motivated again, but you shouldn't be so hateful. You gotta be an example to our new family.
I think Manafani is pregnant.
Yeah, Father. Or should I start calling you grandfather now?
Sassy. What did Shadow ever do to you?
Now that we know how the body slid down, we're just one step away
Step
from the
one.
culprit. Well, Shuichi, do you know who the culprit is?
I mean,
Oh, this is gonna get really more dies. I just realized whichever one of the mono ends up dead. Not
Since we know
gonna
she
forget
was
about that.
killed on the roof, we can.
and I'm
narrow
still
down
gonna
the
say
list
they're
of
gonna go all in
suspects.
and have both.
Meaning, the culprit must be someone who was investigating the mansion. Aside from you, the people at the chapel could not go through the wall or cross the river.
So that means the suspects are Kaito, Samugi, Shuichi, and Gonta.
That's real sneaky, leaving yourself off the list.
Oh, the list. Oh, the scalene triangle.
Got me.
And the only reason why I even remember that at all is I rewatched the really good, the better than the rest part of Moderations recently because I was editing the documentary thing, and that's finally done now. I need to do some paperwork, but
You'll
other than that,
have
it's
to
all done.
explain to me which better than.
Just because it has the best editing in it. Like, they all have good editing, but that one's the best one, just for commentary reasons. And also, that's the moment that I took to, like, when I made that little Dangan animatic of, Nagito ruins Hajime's life forever.
Right! Well, I'm glad, I still need to edit part 6.
Yes, you do. Who is the liar? Who the fuck do you think? But yeah, are we ever going to finish that series?
There's something I need to know.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
What do
when
you
I
need to
get
know?
my computer back 6, that's the
Why
next
did you
thing
lie
to do.
just now?
Which lie are you talking about, Shuichi? I lie a lot, so you'll need to jog my memory.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Fine. I'll expose your lie right now.
I'll expose you in front of everyone. Kokichi Grandma. Well, that wasn't a lie.
It was that testimony that bothered me.
Pie blue? Why is there blue now? But yeah, he definitely lied about going onto the roof. So I'm gonna blame this testimony. Ooh, yeah.
I see it.
That was that's. I mean, that's clever, but why would you do that with testimony? Wow.
When you were explaining that the door to the roof was locked, you said... But later, you said...
Oh yeah. How specific?
That's a lot of specific information. Stuff you wouldn't know if you hadn't been there.
Oh yeah! Now that you mention it, how did you know all that stuff?
You could probably see the steep slope of the roof from outside the mansion.
Probably not, because the wall's in the way.
But you wouldn't know about the brick handrail unless you went up to the roof yourself.
Oh hey, he's got drawn forwards and readied for once.
Huh? What?
What's this all about, Kokichi? Did you actually go to the
Just reminds me of when I was editing, I don't remember whether it was part 1 or part 2 of Spyro 3, but one of the transitions between hub world and level, or vice versa.
Told you that before.
Like, I have 400 gems, and then they do that animation where they fly down and into the, like, the overall total at the bottom of the screen, and 400 gems fly out, and then they all fly into the counter at the bottom, which counts up to 390.
Why you look so nervous?
Is this a sincere reaction?
But there's no
This leaves Cow unsettled.
Went to the
No.
roof? Wait, I remember now.
But it's because of money
That thing
bags,
Himiko
as always.
said.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Forgot.
I have not dreamed about the exploding child ever again. That was just a one-off
At the
deal.
start of the class trial, I remember you saying the handrail was made of bricks. Ooh, you so clumsy, girl. Gotta be more careful there, Himiko.
But she didn't, though.
Is it my fault?
Himiko really say that?
She totally said that.
No, she didn't!
Yeah, just
She did.
whip out your e-handbook and scroll back through the transcript.
She did not!
She did too.
But she didn't, though.
Then when? Tell me how long ago. In hours, minutes, and seconds.
What a worthless
I do like this music. I've used it in several Patreon videos.
Stop it, Grandpa! All this terrible fighting is bad for the baby!
The cub.
Grandfather, stop them before your grandkid is born.
I'm not gonna apologize, because Himiko said it.
So damn stubborn.
How much longer are you going to behave like this?
You fucking illusion papa fox child. Another lie time. Well, alright. This seems a bit more required than the others, so I think we've been through at least one back route so far.
Go to the roof.
But this is what we should draw out him
I've
back.
had enough of your your lies,
Draw
man.
out him out with evidence that pertains to
Not
him.
lying! The rooftop door was locked and I couldn't open it!
So what did Kokichi do?
I turned back at once, of course. I stayed in the salon the whole time, you know?
But did you though? What if I lie?
Reveal the truth.
Right into your vagina? I think I didn't see the V. That could have been a vagina lie, I'm not entirely sure.
Kokichi, you're lying right now, aren't you?
Huh? Lying about what?
These nuts. Again?
Just before the murder occurred, I went to the salon to check on you. But you weren't there.
What? Really?
And you can't prove that I was if you weren't, without proving that you were
For
there.
a while. You never showed up.
What's this all about, Kokichi? Didn't you go right back to the salon after finding the roof door locked?
I see. You use underhanded tactics too, huh, Shuichi?
But you can't know that's a lie unless you've, you know, unless... But we've proven you're lying by you knowing that I'm lying.
So who are you guys gonna believe? Shuichi or me?
You say that as if you've ever been trustworthy, ever.
Well, of course I'm gonna believe Shuichi.
I believe Shuichi 100%.
Well, y'all are idiots, but
The
thanks.
one who's not Kokichi.
100 house points. No. Himiko points to Shuichi.
Yay, Hogwarts.
But to go to the salon, Shuichi would need to pass by me in the dining room.
Tsumugi, now is not the time.
I wonder why I didn't notice Shuichi there.
Did you go pee again?
Oh well. I'll believe Shuichi anyway. He's usually right.
Fuck is this, Tsumugi?
Sorry, but I'm going to believe Shuichi too.
I see. I wanted at least Gonta to believe me.
Going to daddy.
What comes around goes around. That's what happens to liars like you.
Why do you guys hate lies that much? There's only one truth, but endless possibilities for lies.
Puff
You know?
buddies. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
And some of them are only white lies, or lies to be kind to people. If you deny all of that just because it's a lie, then that means you guys are just terrible at being lied to. Seriously, the worst!
Just spit it out already. You went to the roof, didn't you?
Isn't that where he met up with Mew?
No, he didn't just meet her there. He probably...
Okay, fine. I'll tell you if you want to know that badly. Consider this my revenge.
So I have this really sudden urge to, like, grab the bottom of his neck scarf and just sort of pull it back over his face. Not in a killing way, but just a, haha, you can't see now.
Revenge?
You got some balls lying to me. I'm gonna take away your fun for pissing me off, Shuichi. I won't let you do any detective work, or deduction, or mystery solving, or anything.
God, you're such an egg lesbian.
Oh?
So, I'll confess everything. You guys better listen carefully.
You magnetic cuboid.
A confession? So you are the culprit after all.
I came up with a plan after Mew asked me to meet up with
What's
her.
this about?
She asked me pretty eagerly, too. So I decided to pry some info out of her. She gave me the rundown of the virtual world before she explained it to you guys. As I listened, I realized she was planning a murder. On me, no less. When I investigated the virtual world, I found out that a person can die from shock.
Well, how would you know that without actually doing it?
Without a doubt, she planned to use that for my murder. So that's when I decided to prepare my own crime with her plan. I pretended to cooperate with her and lured everyone into the virtual world.
I mean, that's true so far.
That's also why I worked together with Monokuma.
That was the first thing that you missed when you fell asleep, Heather. That was the thing that happened.
You worked together with
Meow.
Monokuma?
I guess the jig is up. Yeah, everything he said is true. Kokichi came to me with an idea to make the killing game more interesting. It was such a good idea, I decided to place a motive in the killing game simulator.
You added a motive? Then the secret of the outside world is the motive, right?
I mean, just the hypothetical existence of such a thing would be motive enough in this killing game.
No fair! Monokuma can't take sides!
I didn't help him with anything, and I had nothing to do with the murder itself. He merely suggested a way to spice up the killing game, and I accepted. Kokichi and I had a quid pro quo relationship. Technically, that doesn't violate the rules.
They had sex.
Bullshit! No matter how you look at it, you guys are working together.
Calm down. I'll explain my relationship with Monokuma.
Wait, that reminds me of the time that Alex suggested to me a way that it would be possible to actually do the do with Monaco, and I'm just like, Alex, why do you think about these things?
I'm fine with that, but you're confessing without much of a fight.
I told you. I'm gonna get in the way by taking away the mystery-solving fun. If I can't win this game, then I'll make it boring for everyone. That's my revenge.
Yeah, but only you care about the excitement factor of the game, Kokichi.
Well then, the culprit is Gonta.
That happened.
What? Huh? What did you...
Wait! When did Gonta kill Mew?
That's a lie! He didn't kill her! Kokichi's just lying!
That took a turn.
Now you're trying to pin things on Gonta?
I mean, I've been doing that since the prologue, so to be fair...
Do you really expect us to believe such an obvious lie?
Yeah, there's no way Gonta could commit a murder this complicated. He's not.
It's my turn now!
Wait, he just... He said... That was one of Amy's lines from Sonic Adventure.
The truth is, Gonta and I worked together. We formed a duo to end this killing game.
See, you're going for a nice sort of duality there, but, like, it works better if I take control of the screen, because, like, just, it's Gonta, and then, whoop, Kokichi, whoop, Gonta, whoop, Kokichi. Beautiful.
As the killing game Busters!
What Busters?
We must win this killing game in order to end this killing game.
What you mean, we?
By the way, I came up with a murder plan, and Gonta carried it out.
Gonta what?
Why are you more surprised by that than the first thing he said?
Cause Gonta have no idea what he's talking about.
Go, Gonta,
Come
Daddy.
on, quit lying and tell us the truth.
Gonta is telling the truth! He's not someone who lies all the time like you!
Yeah, Tsumugi, have a personality.
And no matter how naive Gonta may be, I doubt he would ever team up with Kokichi.
That does depend. Because if Gonta really does not remember what happened in the virtual world, I mean, if Monokuma really did put a motive in there and it was yet another fucking fleshlight, what if, what if Gonta saw a fleshlight that he didn't like and he's like, you know what, yep, let's do some murder times.
Yeah.
What if, because
incident.
this is based off of
It's
the
obvious what he's trying to do.
last game, right?
Gonta doesn't understand the virtual world, so Kokichi's trying to
Right?
trick him.
I'm not going
Wait.
that crazy.
I mean, you partly cut out, so what?
Damn it.
Trying to sacrifice
This is
Gonta to
based
escape
on the
from his crime.
the last game, right?
I mean, kind of.
So you would need your memories uploaded from.
How dare you use Gonta like that?
You would need your memory uploaded
sorry.
to your body after
I
you
did
were done
something
executing
horrible
the
to Gonta.
actions in the virtual world.
I didn't want
Which
you
would
to
mean
reach
that
the hog of
Gonta
glory,
could have
so
not
I told
had his
everyone the truth.
uploaded.
Not had his...
Memories,
we
like,
go.
re-uploaded.
Cut that out. I told you it's not
And that
gonna
could be
work.
why he doesn't kill him.
And it all comes down to chopsticks.
Don't you think I
Oh,
could
boy.
have pulled the strings and made Gonta carry out my commands?
Doesn't matter if it's possible or not, because I say it's just impossible.
Kaito logic.
It does matter. There's no need to bring emotions into class trials. All we need is logical thinking.
Wait a minute. We had an
Shuichi?
intro to a rebuttal showdown, but no rebuttal showdown. I feel shortchanged.
What? Gonta not understand what's going on. But still, Gonta not kill Mew. Gonta really not know anything. And also, Gonta not tell lies. And Gonta not make trouble for others.
Gonta, Daddy.
Cause that not how gentlemen act. That why Gonta not culprit!
Yeah, Gonta's not lying. I can tell just by looking at him.
I already used my magic to check. Gonta's definitely not lying.
See, even that point is more convincing than Kaede's pointing sprite, where she's just like, it's over there.
Then
I'm still not over that.
guys. If it's not Gonta, then who's the culprit?
You, of course!
Come on! There's already proof that I couldn't have killed Mew.
There's already proof?
I mean, he's kind of not wrong.
Oh, did you forget
'Cause
already?
she make him
Then let me make
freezy-weezy.
it clear again. Why I can't be the culprit!
Intense visual effect. Killing is bad.
And wrong. There should be a stronger word for killing.
I am not the culprit.
Bad wrong. Or
Didn't I prove
the
that
dog.
to you guys already?
So much white
Clue
noise.
is how Mew was killed.
Mew got strangled to death, right?
But yeah, it's to do with Kokichi's avatar.
Toilet paper was the murder weapon.
It rolled up!
Mew would have totally resisted if she was being strangled, right? Then it would have been impossible for someone as weak as me.
I mean, that's right for the wrong
Talking about
reason.
the strength of your virtual avatar?
Because that wasn't real.
That wouldn't matter if you strangled her from behind.
In which case, even if she did resist, the most she could have done is merely touch the culprit.
Which is that's vital.
Exactly. She couldn't struggle much. So you could have kept strangling her. No problem.
Vagina. I would climb into your vagina, Kaito.
Actually, maybe it wasn't possible for Kokichi to strangle Mew.
Why wasn't it possible?
Because she could have
Mew
grabbed him by the
modified my
balls and he would have
avatar, so
died.
if she attacked me, I wouldn't be able to resist. If Mew touched me, then I'd be unable to move.
Huh?
Yeah, that was a thing. Oh, hello.
So I would have had to kill her instantly, such as stabbing or hitting.
That's an interesting picture. I think you'll like this, Heather.
I couldn't have murdered her by strangulation, because it'd be game over if she touched me.
That's cute!
Yeah. What a cute murder.
Well, if you were using the toilet paper, you wouldn't need to
Get some
touch
more
her
toilet paper.
Yeah, I just realized
you're wrapping
making
toilet
toilet
paper
paper
around
and
her
Chibi look dramatic. That was really cute.
Then it would be impossible.
Which means, as long as she died from strangulation, it couldn't have been me.
Wait, what if it was something besides strangulation then? Like,
We've been over this, Kaito.
There's no doubt Mew was strangled. We already discussed this.
Fabrizio, but everyone calls him Fab.
Kaito is really desperate to make me the culprit.
Yeah, because Gonta is daddy as fuck.
No matter how much you whine about it, you can't change the truth. The culprit who killed Mew is Gonta Gokuhara! This is the truth you all adore so much.
I mean, their outfits are glorious. Mew's personality, not so much.
No! Gonta not kill Mew! It's true! You gotta believe Gonta! Gonta would never hurt anyone!
I believe you. You've been risking yourself to protect everyone. There's no way Gonta would kill. He won't even kill bugs.
Bees?
I believe Gonta too. I'm not gonna listen to Kokichi's lies.
of course! Who'd believe a liar like him? He's lying about Gonta being the culprit, so there's no point talking about it.
Yeah.
Right, Shuichi?
An inconvenient
you think so
tooth.
Too, don't you?
Huh? I know how important it is.
There's
to
global
believe,
warming happening
but as the
inside
ultimate
your
detective,
mouth.
I know we can't solve this case with belief alone.
Huh?
Did we not learn this in the previous trial when Angie died?
It's just that something doesn't.
I mean, I
add
predict
up.
he'll die in Chapter 5 because he's the
I have
Nagito of this
feeling
game, but... Yeah.
Something's off. We can't keep going back and forth like this. We need to discuss this.
What, you want to suspect Gonta?
Well, no. There are a lot of things I do want to do with Gonta, but that's not one of them.
Too bad, Kaito. Looks like Shuichi agrees with me.
No, I'm not trying to.
Oh, the irony! It's all thanks to Kaito that Shuichi got his act together as a detective. And now, Shuichi's intuition as a detective has made him more suspicious of others.
I've been thinking this ever since I first saw his design, but I don't like Shuichi's collar. It looks much too tight.
Well, can't be helped. That's just what a detective does.
But for that matter, Sheila's neck in Spyro 3 looks far too thin.
That's not it, Kokichi. I'm just trying to make sure that everyone
Shuichi, Gonta really not do it. Gonta not culprit. Please, believe Gonta.
Gonta, Daddy.
We might as well discuss it.
What?
As a precautionary measure, that's all. I think we need to seriously discuss whether Gonta was capable of committing this crime. Only then can we arrive at a logical decision.
It's sad, but he's right.
You guys, why don't you get it? That's just what Kokichi wants. He's just trying to split us up. Shuichi, open your eyes!
It's funny because his eyes are actually closed at the moment.
But...
Two for one truth special!
Oh.
Sorry to ruin this tense moment, but you guys seem pretty evenly split right now.
If he does actually die, then I will.
The Ultimate Academy is proud to present
It's pie time.
phenomenal trial grounds!
I'm gonna need to remember where the WASD keys are.
So we're gonna do that again?
Shuichi, why? Why don't you understand? You're my sidekick, aren't you?
No, I'm your psychic. Ha 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 ha! That's what Kaede taught us. We can't turn. We can't door. Anyway, here goes the thing. Split onion. The cheap Waz. God, this song is tune. I used it in my final major project, as well as in some Patreon videos. That's the point, Heather. You're probably going to want to hear the final product, bearing in mind you're in it.
I mean, yeah, I'm kind of excited. But I mean, if you want to just release it publicly, that'd be great.
I mean, I intend to. Eventually. Not entirely sure when.
No rush.
Could Gonta have done the diddly-doo? The Vadublio. 3 on 4. Tasty.
Shuichi, are you saying that Gonta is the culprit?
I got this!
That's exactly what
I
I'm
can't
saying.
say for sure he's the culprit. I'm saying we can't rule it out.
Gonta is such a sweetheart. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Kokichi!
Don't you realize these so-called sweethearts?
Oh, we
can commit
have
crimes
repeat
too?
people as well. Nice, I like it.
Gonta have even made it to the rooftop without being noticed?
Like, it's gone the wrong way and it bothers me.
That separates the rooftop from the mansion exterior.
There should have been witnesses at the entrance hall.
I got this! No, none of us were in charge of the entrance hall.
It's the Scrum debate theme anyway.
But Kokichi confessed he was working with
Kokichi! I did cooperate with Monokuma, but only on a temporary basis.
It's all a lie. Kokichi is the one who killed Kibo.
I mean, Kokichi's the focus of that statement, so...
Because Kokichi's avatar had special settings.
And then...
I got this!
Sorry, Gonta, you don't get to speak.
Gonta could have
Welcome back, Red, by the way. And here's the thing I can never do. Thank goodness for me remembering the word WASD, and that's how I remember where the keys are. It's almost like that's the design or something.
In my opinion, as long as it is possible that Gonta is the culprit, we have to discuss it.
That's ridiculous.
But
You're going to believe Kokichi over Gonta?
also, Red, don't worry, all the archives are put on my YouTube channel, so there's that. I finally updated my panels underneath the stream. I'm so proud of me.
That's not
And
it
that's
at
totally
all.
not me drawing
I
attention
just
to the
want
tip
the
jar.
truth.
It really isn't. I'm just saying I've organized my panels.
If we're going to survive,
Meow.
I have to find the truth.
Meow.
Meow.
Gonta telling truth. Gonta really not culprit.
Gonta, Daddy.
I still don't think Gonta's lying.
But didn't I tell you guys
He could be
already?
lying without lying, you know.
If you're planning to expose a liar, then you have to corner them psychologically. Only then will they reveal their true self as a liar, hiding beneath a layer of deceit. That's why it hurts my heart to persecute Gonta like this! Gonta, if you understand, then do it right. Make logical arguments for the truth.
Logical arguments?
It means use your head to make arguments.
Use head?
Give head?
What I'm trying to say is, if you aren't the culprit, then you gotta prove that you aren't!
But Gonta really not know?
I'm sick of hearing you say you don't know! God, why are you so dumb?
Okay, evil, but that was really well voice acted, that particular line.
Gonta just want to help everyone, like true gentlemen.
You're a true gentleman? More like a true nincompoop.
Hey! Now that's just bullying.
And of course, Lozzie, I am in.
Bullying? Yeah, so what? That's what you do in this game, right? You guys blame and gang up on me, but now you're gonna pretend to be good people?
No, I never ganged up.
You can't gang up if you're just one person.
Gonta, argue back already! Just make an excuse or whatever!
Stop it! That's enough!
God, drama.
Stop what? You mean stop the game?
Stop the presses.
Hey,
Stop the toilet.
do you even know what you're saying?
Yeah, I know. What about it? I don't want to survive if it means I have to stoop to your level.
After Meryl Streep.
Oh, that's a low blow right there.
Blow him.
And just die in a hole for all I care! We want to live, so stop getting in our way!
Wait. If you don't shut your mouth, then I'll shut it for you. Permanently.
Kill him.
Maki, please, calm down.
Oh, Gonta.
Sorry. It Gonta's fault everyone's so upset. But Gonta telling truth. Gonta really not culprit. Cause Gonta not know anything. Really.
Don't blow Kokichi Grandma. Good advice right
Cut
there.
it out already! That's all you've been saying this whole time!
He seems more like a blower than a blowee, if you know what I'm saying.
You're the one who needs to cut it out.
Are they really not gonna by not know every?
Why do you keep cutting, Heather?
What? Why do I keep cutting? I'm right here. Right here. I'm leaving.
I think they really are angling towards the amnesia situation.
That's why he keeps saying Gonta Gonta don't know any, because he doesn't remember anything that happened while they were in there.
It was after. 'Cause of the chopsticks!
Did Gonta get into an accident in the virtual world?
Did he go poop in the virtual world?
Accident?
It was the Avatar era.
This is it!
His headset took a shit.
When we logged into the virtual world, an Avatar user error occurred.
And that only happened once because Gonta didn't go in the second time. So we can narrow it down to either a one-off error or someone who only logged in the first time being the victim of this.
An Avatar user error?
Ever since Gonta logged out, he's been saying, I don't know, I don't understand.
That's because Gonta doesn't understand the virtual world, right?
That's racist.
That's what I thought at first, but I think it's because of the error.
What you mean?
What you mean? Anyway, we're doing this again. Memory loss fits. I'm going for memory loss. As one does. That is not the one I clicked on. Offended. That's what I get when I'm not looking at the cursor when I... Memory loss.jpg. I think I'm the only one who doesn't find lost memes funny, because, like, okay, yeah, that sure was a picture comic thing that was made once. Get over it. It's sort of like the Darude Sandstorm of Reddit.
Doesn't remember what happened in the virtual
My personal favorite is when Siva Gunner's that fit in
You started saying, I don't
a
know
set
anything
of
after
tones
reading the
that
virtual
mimicked
world.
the shape of Lost.
Oh, how dare.
I think that's
It was the best
some kind
thing
of
ever.
Memory error.
It's somewhere in that playlist.
That's why he doesn't
I'll find
remember
it.
anything that happened in the virtual world.
Did you hear the I think it was also Siva Gunner that did the gorilla version of the DK rap.
Not even
It's
killing
so
me.
good. The DK rap gorilla, and it's ah.
Well, this Kong has a funny face, and he has a coconut gun.
That's ridiculous! Quit screwing around!
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
What do you mean he doesn't remember? He's just confused.
Gonta told us he was bad with computers, remember?
Computers, and more
no
computers.
memory. Gonta never hurt anyone!
Oh, Febreze. So random.
No way Gonta's the culprit!
Oh god, we're having a mass debate. I don't even know where to begin here. Device instructions, I
never hurt
guess.
anyone!
Remember because
Doesn't remember
Gonta
a thing
wants to
about
keep
the
everyone
virtual world.
safe!
You did it, but you
Gonta
don't
would
remember
never
things,
kill a
right?
friend.
Shut up, Tsumugi.
If there was a glitch,
Gonta is gentlemen protect
it should
friends!
have affected all of us.
Your lies aren't protecting anyone.
But because we're all okay,
Gonta not lying!
I feel like Kaito's gonna...
there was
Yeah, there we go. Shut up, Gonta. Vagina!
The cause of the error that affected Gonta's avatar is the 2 cords on the helmet used to log into the
I'm glad I
virtual
understood
world.
that, because if I didn't understand that, this would have been arse. I hate mass panic debates, which is why I keep putting them into Chaos Potentia S, because I'm just a masochist like that, apparently. So hang on, right, hang on. So Gonta's sitting right next to Himiko. So does that mean that...
I think that Gonta messed up something with the cords, causing the error.
What about vaginas? Good question. Something that Alex asks himself on a daily basis, I'm sure.
If he mixed
Alright.
consciousness and memory cords, then there'd be an error with memory. Like an error that won't let you bring your avatar's memories to the real world.
What? Gonta, do you think it's possible that you improperly connected the cords?
How Gonta's supposed to remember that?
He couldn't have messed it up. I said it over and over. Right is the hand you hold your chopsticks in.
Oh, but Gonta holds chopsticks with this hand.
Gonta's left-handed, and that's the entire problem.
That's your left hand!
Which is a brilliant noise to make at 5 to 12 in the evening.
What?
Wouldn't be the last time.
Looks like it's decided.
Excuse you, I am a very quiet fucker, actually. I've been criticized for fucking too quietly.
He's wrong, isn't he, Gonta? You remember the virtual world,
I mean,
don't you?
it would be funny if it wasn't true.
Gonta not remember. Gonta not even go to this virtual world place.
What?
Gonta fall asleep when he put helmet on. When Gonta wake up, Mew dead. Gonta not know what happened. So, Gonta worry. Gonta not understand what everyone talking about.
No, it can't be.
So it's kind of combining most of the second game's chapter 4 with like the end of the second game's chapter 5, kind of.
But Gonta tried his best to understand. Gonta imagine real hard.
That's
No
nice,
direct
Gonta.
culpability and yet awareness ability. That's very interesting.
Know what?
We know that you totally forgot about teaming up with
So
him
is
and
this
killing Mew.
Gonta must have found the thing from the outside world that
Wait a
would
minute. That lie.
have
Gonta
then
not
caused a
kill Mew.
glitch with return.
Why would
Got
Gonta
all
do
troppy
that?
again. Discord hates us this evening.
Yeah, it's a lie! I'll never accept this! And
Wait, hang on.
besides,
Let's try
Gonta's
that
got no
really
motive to kill.
quickly.
I already gave you
Let's
my
just
full story
rearrange
on how I
everything.
came up with the murder plan.
Is that better?
And I'm saying
I mean, I don't know. I think
believe
it's a
you.
connection rather than anything else. What was it you were saying?
Kokichi,
Oh,
if what you're saying is true, why
Is
did
the
you plant it
implication
this
that
way?
he found this hint of the outside world, became
You
willing
wanted
to
plan
kill me,
murder yourself, but
and
have someone
then
else carry it
because of
out?
the thing he found, he was disconnected from the whatever?
No, he was disconnected properly. He was connected wrong upon going in. So his consciousness was ported over, but he wasn't able to extract memories from it because his cords were the wrong way around. So he was himself in the virtual world, but nothing in the virtual world caused him to lose his memories. It's because he was connected wrongly when he went in.
Is the person who planned it also included
But
as
I
a
do agree that
flashback
he
to
found
the
something in there that
perpetrator?
turned him.
Nope! Only the person who actually commits the murder becomes the blackened!
Then there's no incentive to just plan the murder.
But Gonta's such a gentle soul. Why would he agree to this?
Hold on! That hasn't been decided yet!
Who cares about the motive? Let's vote for the culprit already.
Oh, Kokichi, take your trousers off.
Well, I don't care. Finding the culprit is more important in this class trial. Talking about the motive is meaningless. It's not necessary for this specific case.
Kind of is.
No matter what you say, I'll never believe your lies.
We all agree that Gonta is the culprit, right? It would be impossible for anyone but him.
Impossible? Why?
It's pretty obvious if you use the process of elimination. Which means, Shuichi, you'll be my partner, right?
Ugh.
Because if you don't face the truth, then we'll all die, right? And you don't want that, do you? Okay, let's begin!
Fuck you,
Quit screwing
Kokichi.
around! I'm done putting up with your selfish bullshit!
Kaito, we should listen to his explanation. Our lives depend on it.
So, we can now take Keyboy, Himiko, and Maki off the suspect list. Shuichi, would you care to explain? I doubt they'll believe it if it came from me.
I mean, they couldn't get to the roof, so... Evil douche canoe, accurate.
They couldn't get to the crime scene, could they?
The bridge from the chapel to the mansion was gone, and only Miu could pass through the wall. The three at the chapel had no way to get to the mansion, so they couldn't have done it.
I do love
Kaito
these
is the
camera
next one
movements.
off
I
our
still do. I've been saying this all
suspect
game.
list, and you know why, right?
Yeah, Kaito was logged out.
Kaito had logged out.
I love how
ahead of
Shuichi's
us.
not even saying, like, yeah, I got it. Great. I'll grab my stuff.
Miu logged
My
Kaito
boy.
out from the start.
This Wii is what all true warriors strive for.
But she did
No,
that to make us
I want a
think the murder
PS4.
happened in the real world, right? Since we figured out the actual killing happened in the virtual world, it would have been impossible for Kaito, who had already logged out.
Don't remind me that Kirumi existed. She was,
time of
oh,
death
now I
was
want
around
some of this
6:30
ginger
in
tea
the
that's right
morning.
next to my,
That's
like,
after
right arm.
Kaito logged out.
But it's late. I can't have tea this late. I must bed once this is done.
Kokichi's completely running the show now.
Misread that as ruining the show, and that's also true.
My synergy with Shuichi is super on point now, so let's move on to the remaining suspects. Gonta, Samugi, Shuichi, and me. Samugi and Shuichi can be crossed off.
Because we have mutually
But what's the
collusive
reason for
alibis.
that?
Is collusive a word?
I think.
Tsumugi and I are witnesses to each other's alibis.
Both of you heard Miu hitting the chapel wall, right? The culprit was definitely on the roof during
curious
that
now.
time, since
Reminds
they
me of,
slid Miu down.
Professor Brian Cox, sort of famous celebrity scientist in the UK. Of course, America doesn't have those. Well, I mean, you have Neil deGrasse Tyson, sure, but whatever.
Because of
Once
that,
he
Shuichi
reveals
and
that
Samugi
his
can't be
phone
the culprit.
is so full of autocorrects that he once tried texting about the Large Hadron Collider and it autocorrected to Large Hadron Collider.
That leaves only
When you
Gonta and
conspire
Miu as
to
the
give someone a
remaining
big
suspects.
boner.
Acting together
You're
is
the culprit!
toward a fraudulent or legal.
Sorry for getting your hopes up, but didn't I already explain that's impossible?
Yeah, he would have been frozed.
If Miu touched him, he'd freeze in place. Kokichi wasn't capable of strangling her.
So then, it's down to one person. And who was that again?
No, Lozzie, you're keeping us company and I value that.
Well, who is...
Don't answer, Shuichi! You don't need to answer that!
But we sort of do, though.
This is all Kokichi's trap!
It is, but he's right. Where is he? Gone to daddy. Gonta, Daddy.
It's Gonta.
Shuichi?
Yep, Gonta is the only person who could have committed the murder. You get it now, right? That's the truth we were all reaching for.
Sad.
The thing you guys wanted so badly! A truth without any lies! New Iruma's killer is Gonta Gokuhara!
He announces exactly on the moment that it transitions over from the 13th to the 14th of June.
Really? Did Gonta really do it?
Gonta, Daddy.
Jeez, is that really your reaction? It would have been fun if you went all crazy. But you forgot everything.
Why does Kokichi get a more?
That's a good question. Why does Kokichi get a mort?
A culprit who
Fucking
can't remember their murder is pretty interesting. So, better than nothing.
Wow, savage in the chat there.
If Gonta remembered, his cover would have been blown so fast. Especially since he's an idiot.
Hold on. I still haven't accepted this. This has gotta be Kokichi's trap. I still believe in Gonta. He's not the kind of person who'd kill.
But process of elimination, man.
Kaito.
I already said this a million times, Kaito. You shouldn't use emotions to—
You want proof? I've got your proof. After Tsumugi and Shuichi heard Kibo's voice in the mansion, they ran outside. And who did they see out there?
Gonta's hair is so cute in the virtual world. But he's cute anyway.
Gonta.
Kokichi said it himself. When Miu's avatar crashed into the chapel wall, the culprit must have been on the roof.
But he could have rappelled down with the toilet paper, though. That's why we found it where we did. Because he had to dispose of it there and then because there were witnesses in front of the mansion. Kaito, you just consolidated his guilt.
It's possible that he fled the mansion after he heard the impact.
You'd have to go through the entrance hall to get outside the mansion from the roof. Is that where Shuichi and Tsumugi ran to when they heard the crashing sound?
Then maybe he jumped off the roof.
It's not possible. That rooftop was pretty high up.
Normally, Gonta could have done it, but his avatar wasn't strong enough. How about that? Now you get it, right? If Gonta was the culprit, there's no way he could have been outside the mansion.
Now you can't say Gonta's the culprit. Congrats, Gonta.
Aww.
What? Really?
Oh, you're just toying with his emotions.
No, that's wrong.
Oh, he said the line.
What? Just because Gonta was at the mansion doesn't mean that he isn't the culprit. All the culprit needed was a way to get from the roof to outside the mansion.
Huh?
Looks like Shuichi got it. I'll leave the rest to him.
You still here, by the way, Heather?
Yes.
Kaito,
Cool and
I
good.
know
Assuming
how you feel.
that disc
I
keep
know,
doing problems.
because we all feel it. But we have to face the truth. No matter how cruel that truth may be, we need to face it to survive.
I wonder how Gonta's portrait's going to be crossed out in the next
Whose
trial.
side are you on, Shuichi?
Kaito, please.
Aren't you my sidekick? Was that just a lie?
Kaito!
Fine then! I'll tear that sorry reasoning of yours apart and wake you up!
Ooh. Do we get to fight him instead of Gonta as part of the boopy-doop-boop thing?
Ooh.
Well, yeah, we do! It's got alien with an ass.
Accept this! Don't you know Gonta at all? Not the kind of guy who kills someone. Don't you know that about him by now? I'll never accept this, damn it!
He scream.
Why won't you believe Gonta? Why are you listening to Kokichi?
Is this technically the first guy we've had to do this to?
Wake up, Shuichi!
I mean, Korekyo
Why
kind
won't you
of.
believe Gonta?
Kind of.
Why are you listening to Kokichi? Aren't you my sidekick?
Also, it's totally the Death Star. I just realized. That's pretty good.
I'm trying to remember where the keys are, so... Oh, he's stripping! Oh dear. Oh, it is! I get it now.
Remember what Kokichi has done to us! Remember how Gonta's always tried to protect us! How could Gonta be the culprit? Still want to accuse him, huh? Say truth this, truth that. There's a reason Gonta's not the culprit!
Yeah, smash everything.
Who do you want to believe? Remember what Kokichi has done to us! Remember how Gonta's always tried to protect us! How could Gonta be the culprit?
This is crazy.
Still want to accuse him, huh? Damn it!
Oh, we get to blow him.
There's no way to leave the
Toilet
mansion
paper discovered outside of the mansion.
It ends here!
The mansion discovered outside the toilet paper.
Oh no.
Strippy boy. Oh dear.
The toilet paper we found outside the mansion.
Well, at least it's not always girls, otherwise I would feel rather disgusted.
That's what the culprit used to get from the roof to the ground.
The toilet paper?
Clearly, all heterosexual sex is vulgar. Clearly.
The same toilet paper that was used as the murder weapon. That's why we didn't find it anywhere else.
Gonta could have just stuffed
Not
it into
at the
his
scene of the
trousers.
crime,
Because...
nor on Mew's body.
bulge.
It was outside the mansion.
You see... We're joking, Red, but you're not wrong because Alex is a tiger. The stripy stripper.
Hold on.
Ultimate
Toilet
exhibitionist.
paper is a rope
That's
to
the
get down from
explanation.
the roof. Then they need to tie it to something. But there was nothing to tie it to. I know because I investigated the roof.
You're
He investigated the manta ray.
Kaito. You're still going on about this.
Of course I am. I'm gonna believe in Gonta till the very end.
But they were on the east side of the mansion, so the binoculars were there, so we could have tied it to them.
There was something that the toilet paper could have been tied to.
Well, that's a story for when you're older, Laura, but I'm talking in terms of Chaos Potentia Est.
What?
Which, I don't know if you're here for that, Red, but that's the name of the fan game that I'm making. So, there you go. Yeah, the binoculars.
There! The binoculars on the rooftop. The toilet paper could have been tied there.
And then
However,
because...
I don't think the culprit actually tied it down there.
Oh.
They just hung
I was
it.
going to say, if he was collaborating with Kokichi, he could have just got Kokichi to untie it when flafe.
And then used the doubled up toilet paper to climb down.
But that makes sense too. Yes, Lozzie, and when you're older, I'll explain.
But in that case, they would have had to tug on it in order to take it down.
Oh, tug. Ah, nearly punched
Yep,
my teeth.
That's correct, because I came up with that idea. But I thought I told Gonta to put the toilet paper back in the bathroom.
You see, the bathroom was important to the investigation after all.
Oh, I just ran into someone on the way and then threw it somewhere close by.
And then it goes black for a while, and then there we go. Yeet!
Looks like Kaito's morale is shot, so this whole thing is done now.
The matter does appear to be settled.
I mean, there are, like, tiger cat things that, like, if they're coloured one way, they look like tigers, and they're coloured another way, they look like leopards, so kind of, yes.
That
Ooh.
Or cheetahs, or basically any kind of big cat that's not a lion because they have a separate model.
So, it's true. Going to...
Is there a snow leopard by chance?
There can be, I guess, in theory.
But I'm the one who came up with the plan. Anyway, just admit your crime, Gonta. Even though you don't remember, you still did it.
But
It brings up
why
that
did
question of
Gonta do such terrible thing.
of the ethics of an amnesiac criminal.
Wait, before you start crying, you gotta admit your crime first.
Stop. I
Hammer
will
time.
let you, Kokichi. If anyone is going to get him to confess, it's me.
Shuichi, stop this.
Gonta, I'm going to look back at the whole case one more time, okay? When you're convinced, you just let me know, all right? Let's
Oh,
end
it's
this
like
together.
euthanasia. Go to daddy.
Okay.
Precious cinnamon boy. Don't take him away from us.
This is so sad.
I punched my microphone.
Fitting.
Let us use like a sled. Right. Ah, so it did come from Shuichi's lab. For some reason, that was just never addressed, that she got it from the lab. That was the map. I don't think we've seen that yet. Ah, that's gonna be fun. She got to the mansion and used the phone. Oh, look at this art, though. This is also cute and chibibi. Kaito was evaporated. The cinnamon folk. Oh, we do have the toilet for Pepe. And then back earlier this way, I thought we didn't have this, but we do. Avatar Mew in closing argument form is so much cuter.
I like her.
Yodeled. And
I mean, I like Mew already. I guess it worked.
And then finally, what do we have here? Sign fuff. Okay, we're nearly there now. Binoculars and toilet paper. Hello everyone, I am Binoculars and Toilet Paper. Too many things fit with the syllabic cadence of my name. He was on the roof. I do like there's always a theme with how these are locked. And like all of these last clues apart from the cord one, all these final stock of clues are all from this panel. So that's clever and nice and wonderful and lovely and just generally well designed. Oh, and closing argument Tsubugi is just so cute in this particular chibi form.
This is the truth of the case.
Funny you should mention that, Laura. Oh,
The case
very true,
began
Red.
last night.
That's a very pretty act. The act one looks like the Teen Titans logo. Fuck.
After being convinced by Mew, we all logged in to the virtual world. To log in, you have to plug the memory and consciousness cords into the device.
My god, the shadow death person looks so clueless and so sad!
So, we all plugged those cords into our helmets and entered the virtual world. But the culprit had accidentally plugged their cords into the wrong ports.
Which in theory is just bad design. You should have them have different jacks on them, obviously.
Because of this, a connection error occurred between the culprit's brain and their avatar.
This is the most, I think, contrived case so
As
far.
a result, the culprit would forget everything that happened in the virtual world.
Which I suppose makes it harder to deduce from the outside looking in. Which is why the first game is a necessary foundation experience.
It's possible that this had an effect on their avatar's personality as well.
Middle finger and everything.
Because I can't believe that someone so kind could commit murder. But we had no idea this error even happened. And so, we all logged in one by one. Meanwhile,
Jaunty
Mew
angle.
was the last to log in. She had modified the killing game simulator so she could accomplish a specific goal.
Swing.
After Mew confirmed we were all logged in, she took out the bottle of poison and
Clink.
placed it on Kokichi's seat. This was done to make it look like Kokichi was killed by poison when we returned.
Thud.
Yes. The reason Mew modified the simulator and brought us to the virtual world was to kill Kokichi in the virtual world but make it look like he had died in the real world.
Because when you die in the virtual world, you die for real.
After we had all
So
logged
cute.
in, Mew explained
look at
the
them.
world to us.
They're all so cute.
Use the salon phone to log out. Objects are unbreakable. Your avatars use all 5 senses.
Now, is Tsumugi stroking her chin or popping a pink gumball where her mouth should be?
She also explained the map of the virtual world in the mansion's entrance hall. But her explanation was intentionally false. She wanted us to misunderstand the world. However, one of us was able to see through her scheme.
But he looks Zorua as fuck.
The very person
Even
Mew
now.
was trying to kill. Kokichi. Kokichi was going to use Mew's plan against her and plotted her murder. But Kokichi wouldn't do it himself. He used a patsy to be the culprit in this case.
It's basically what Byakuya would have done if he'd been blackened in the first game, because he wouldn't have been blackened. And I used this exact reasoning when we were playing the first game. I was right, just 2 games ahead of time. Wow, that's even more
Kokichi was
Zorua.
tight-lipped about the motive, so I don't know why the culprit agreed. But it seems as though right after logging in, when Kokichi and the culprit went outside, they were already working together to execute the murder.
Oh. I'm surprised the chapel wasn't more important, all things
Eventually,
considered.
we met up
I mean,
with
did you see all
Kokichi
those Christmas
and crossed
decorations?
the river to the chapel. Mew had us split up to try to find some secret of the outside world. Kaito, Kokichi, Gonta, Tsumugi, and I investigated the mansion, while Maki, Himiko, Kibo, and Mew investigated the chapel. Splitting us up was also part of Mew's plan. At the
God, I love this
chapel,
art style.
Mew told Maki that she was going to look around outside.
Zoom.
She chased after our group while we were heading toward the mansion.
Zoom. Harr. Harr.
Once she made sure we were across, she dropped the bridge into the river.
If nothing else, how would she defend that
This
if
was
she...
to trick us into thinking that the river separated the mansion and chapel.
Like, that would make her look culpable if she had successfully killed Kokichi, so how would she explain
At the
that?
time, we thought nothing of it. It was just another one of Mew's pranks.
Because she was on the other side, so she could have never gotten
That's
to
why we
top.
continued
But then why
with
would she have done it in the
original
first place?
plan to find the secret of the outside
What,
world.
what would be her lie to defend it anyway?
We went to
It
the
seems a bit too convenient they
split
just
up to
brushed
look
it off
for
as a
clues.
prank. It's a prank, bro. How do you know that the toilet looks like that, Shuichi? You never went in there. You wouldn't let me.
Kokichi searched the salon.
Looking Dokapon Kingdom as
Kaito
fuck.
searched the roof. Tsumugi searched the dining room. I searched the kitchen. And finally, the culprit searched outside the mansion.
You could say they were despair searching, because that's
Around
the
that
name
time,
of the music when they're
Mew was headed
investigating.
for the wall
This
that
game's
was on the
version of
side
Box
the
15.
chapel.
So I can only
She
assume that
passed through
this
the
game's
wall
version of Box
and
16 will
headed
be
for
called
the
Hope
mansion
Searching.
to kill Kokichi.
Bzz.
You see, the wall was a special wall
Look
that
at that
Mew
face.
had added herself. This wall was programmed so that only objects could pass through. And Mew had changed her avatar settings from human to object. That was the hidden route she prepared for herself. She set up a wall that only she could pass through. Mew headed toward the mansion, but she was seen by Tsumugi on the way.
Retrieve the phone from her cleavage.
When she entered the mansion, she pulled out her cell phone. She didn't tell us that there was another way to log out.
Click.
Then, she spoke a name into the phone, which forced that person to log out. It was Kaito who was on the roof at the time. The same roof where Kokichi and Mew were going to meet. By having Kaito search the roof and then forcing him to log out, she was making him look the most suspicious. But her plan didn't go smoothly.
Smoothly.
Kokichi was waiting on the roof with a culprit and the toilet paper used to kill Mew.
I love how they're trying to make toilet paper sound threatening.
While Mew was distracted by Kokichi, the culprit snuck up from behind.
See, if they'd had the virtual world be programmed so that you can only see in, like, cardinal directions, that would help here, but they didn't bother with that. Like, you can only see in front of you. You have Pokemon Trainer line of sight. Oh, that was some Foley.
From the mansion's bathroom to strangle Mew. This was only possible because objects in the virtual world are unbreakable.
Still vaguely cute.
Oh, yeah. So, blaming Croatia's national broadcaster for her death.
And the shock killed Mew in the real world.
Hrvatska radio televizija. I'm assuming that's how it's... all I know is
After the
Hrvatska.
murder, Kokichi left the cleanup to the culprit and left the roof.
Which was his biggest mistake ever.
He probably returned to the salon as soon as he could to avoid drawing suspicion.
Funk.
The culprit then took the lattice from the storage room.
It's not a lattice, it's a pallet.
And
Bang.
placed Mew's body on
He
top,
banged her
along with
against the
camera and
wood.
cell phone.
Gah. Cheeky face.
The culprit heaved the lattice over the railing and forcefully slid it down the roof slope.
Neat.
With a body on top of it, the lattice became a makeshift
Sledge.
and flew off the roof.
Whoosh. Or whooshed if you count the... Oh,
It went
bam.
through the wall
The
that
hammer
only
is the letter T.
objects can pass through before crashing into the chapel. That was the crashing sound that Kibo heard in the chapel and we heard in the mansion. Mew's wall hid the fact that the mansion and chapel were actually right next to each other. That's why Tsumugi and I were able to hear the crash from the mansion.
I just realized that the first three letters of BAM,
As the final
like,
step,
they were in the colors of the
culprit had
bisexual
to
pride
then
flag,
get
so
off
it's
the
like
roof.
bisexual sheep. Ba.
Because we were at the
Slip, slip.
mansion, they couldn't take the stairs.
What are you?
or they'd
I'm...
be seen.
I...
Good leg.
So they used the toilet paper again to escape from the rooftop.
Oh,
They
slide.
hung the toilet paper from the binoculars on the roof and used it like a rope to climb down. Once the culprit was safely on the ground, they pulled at the toilet paper to retrieve it. They would have returned it to the bathroom, but they ran into us as we were leaving the mansion.
Toss.
In a
Or
panic, the
stop.
culprit tossed the
Or
toilet paper
so,
somewhere nearby.
depending on how you choose to read it. I believe you, Laura.
Without that one little mistake, we might never have solved this case because the culprit doesn't remember.
Oh. I'm not even going to start with the... Oh, no, no.
This is the truth you've forgotten, Gonta Gokuhara, the ultimate entomologist.
Didn't even bother with the shadowy figure in the ending screen this time. Everything is sad. Everything is sad.
Gonta, this is the truth we've reached.
Sorry. Gonta not really understand. 'Cause Gonta not smart boy.
But he's best boy, and that's what really counts.
But if everyone agree, then everyone probably right. Gonta, trust everyone.
Gonta.
But why? Gonta kill Mew, forget everything. Gonta even think he not do anything bad. And then Gonta tried to blame someone else and make everyone suffer. Why? Why Gonta do such terrible thing?
Gonta, it's not your fault.
It's Kokichi's fault. He must have tricked Gonta.
That is one hell of a side-eye from Tsumugi there, but Laura, if anyone could, I believe you could.
Huh? I totally didn't trick him. Before we go into that, it's voting time. We should finish up the class trial first.
But is this the right answer? We're not being fooled by Kokichi?
For once, I wish that we were.
Huh? Wrapping things up already?
Wrapping it up with toilet paper.
What a buzzkill of an ending! It lacks the rush of previous voting times. Well, after so many killing games, I guess it was bound to happen eventually.
After so many killing games.
It's just as well. This killing game is a bad influence on the baby.
Oh my, Monotaro. You're even starting to look like a father.
Yeah! I gotta get my act together for the baby.
By the way, in case you didn't pick up on it, yes, incest bear babies.
Now then, pull yourselves together and let's begin! The heart-racing excitement as the blackened and the spotless face off! It's voting time!
Entirely up to you, Laura. You're the one with the power. Now, it's not the first time I've seen that word used. Once again, blame Alex. But is the focus of the word supposed to be win or wince? Because it's cringy if you fuck your family.
It seems the voting has finished. Now then, let's see the result.
It's supposed to be incest, as in, like, the winner, like that kind of, you know.
Nasty.
I know, right?
One person voted for Kokichi, and I want to believe it wasn't Gonta.
I still believe it's Kaido.
Yeah.
Will you make the
Fair.
right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Well,
Gonta believed it 100%, and everyone else. Kaido never
Didn't
had a
want to.
chance to. Yeah.
well, in the words of that one character, that screen rap reminds me of Super Magnetic Neo. But yeah, in the words of that one character from A Hat in Time that's voiced by Youngtown, time to die! I think it looks like I got both the back routes. I never entirely know with these. Because I think I missed one in Chapter 2 and that had a question mark, so... If anyone personally cares about going back through my, like, if they want to look at my scores. Also, have I had logic and action on mean this entire time? Because, like, I don't remember setting it, but whatever. I've been keeping up, so it's fine. Perfect scores all across the board, apart from... Okay, I fucked up a thing. Maybe two... I think one thing at the start and one thing at the end. But other than that... I'm good at this. But Gonda, though.
Absolutely right. Let me hear
You called this too.
voices.
Which part of it?
Just the fact. Well, actually, I believe wording was Gonta is such a loving guy. He to be clueless in order to kill somebody, which I mean he was out of sorts while in the virtual world, which somewhat removed culpability to the tragedy, and I'm pretty sure you said that he would.
That he would...
So you know.
He would what, Discord?
That he would kill me.
Oh.
So you were right on both.
I don't even remember my reasoning.
Oh, that was just it. Gonta's so kind that chapter 4, the one based on tragedy, have to be that he wasn't even in his right mind at that point.
What was that?
Hey!
Which he wasn't, because you're good.
Meow.
Oh, I see.
Huh?
Please stop! All right.
Huh?
Because...
But the Gonta in the virtual world isn't going to remember either, surely. Because it's not as if the virtual world...
Gonta's memories didn't transfer over, so they're still in the virtual world as data.
At the very least, I'm assuming if Gonta went back in, then it would overwrite his memories with non-memories, but whatever.
I can combine Gonta's consciousness from his last login with that leftover memory data.
If you just said, I have a recording of what happened in the virtual world because it was on a fucking computer, that would be a better explanation, to be quite honest. Thumb, 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 thumb.
Ta-da! Alter Ego Gonta is now complete.
You fuck off with that, Monokuma. You do not get to mention that name.
Alter ego?
Basically, it's a separate Gonta that only exists in virtual space.
Can we keep him?
If we listen to what he says, we should be able to find out what happened in that world.
He even has his own separate screen thing.
Huh? What this? What happening?
Gonta, Daddy. This is a mockery.
Huh?
Oh, this is precious.
Huh?
What's that mean?
Hey, Now then.
Savage.
Please. Why? Huh?
Oh, man.
Oh.
Sadness.
Gonta.
Huh?
Gonta don't know. Wrong.
Oh.
That's...
Gonta.
And this is true, he was having existential angst about this.
Yeah.
But... Gonta. What?
Oh.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
What?
What?
Please wait.
Hey.
Oh, Kokichi, you are a fuck nugget.
Huh?
In other words, yeah.
Oh, so there was a flashlight.
Huh?
Oof.
What?
You know.
Huh?
Wait,
Incomprehensible.
Oh? You get it?
God, Kokichi, you're such a fuck nugget.
hey!
To tell you the truth, too bad.
Wow.
Always messing around.
Gonta was exposed by Kokichi. And that's how we know about the tree trunk, Nick. No, Gonta, you're so precious. You don't deserve this.
Could it be?
Maybe.
Gonta.
So do I, Laura. Like, I was really tired last night and I just would not fall asleep and I hate it. God, Kokichi, you are just awful. And then he shot himself in the face.
How'd this happen?
Oh. I feel like this has happened before and I forget which case it was and even which game for that
What
matter.
did you say?
No way. Wrong.
Wow. That is heavy. No, that's fine. It wasn't your fault. I was already struggling to fall asleep. It wasn't, like, you just happened to be there as well. And, like, I was still awake at, like, 5 in the morning. So, don't worry about it. It was entirely me.
Huh?
How'd this happen? But...
Yeah.
So that does seem like something that Gonta would agree to.
You get it?
Hold on!
See, Gonta's reasoning is pure. Kokichi's is not.
Hey!
Right?
please. Sorry.
Why?
Oh, Cinnamon Man.
Huh? But...
No. That was just a thing that also happened at the same time, Lozzie. Don't worry. Is this a booty call? That's a good question. Did Heather die?
Huh?
There we go. Kablamo, but with neck kablamo. See, I got the impression that, like from the closing argument, that Miu never got to see who killed her, so she would blame it on Kokichi, but no, she heard him. And then she died. Tragedy.
It can't be.
By the way,
Huh?
Really?
Gonta.
but...
Well then.
Stop it!
This does still seem really contrived, but I guess that's the only way they could make this happen, and it was necessary for someone so sweet to be a killer at some point in the series, just for the purposes of despair. I mean, it worked with Chiaki, so why shouldn't it work with Gonta?
Sorry.
They would just need
It
to...
also worked with Sakura.
True, but that was special circumstances.
Always messing around.
These are pretty damn
Well, yeah.
How can this be? Sorry.
Well, Gonta got his wish about being the Blackened just 2 chapters too late.
Gonta, idiot.
Yeah.
Don't screw around.
Bible thumb.
Please stop. Sorry.
Aww.
I know that!
I suppose.
So am I!
That's enough!
That's not true.
Please stop.
He would have found a way. He's a fuck nugget. I believe in you, Lozzie.
Hey, hey!
Huh?
And another thing.
Oh boy. Well, in all subsequent Danganronpa 3, well, V3 streams, I will have Gonta
So
in the
am
corner.
I.
In memory of Gonta Daddy.
Huh?
I know that!
But...
Okay.
Gross, nasty bugs.
Ah,
Oh, she's good. There's a baby!
honey! Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
Gonta!
No.
Wait a minute. Are the parallels of Monotaro and Monophony supposed to parallel Gonta and Kokichi in this chapter because one of them keeps losing their memory. And they're having a baby together and the baby fails because despair. Because they tried to kill everyone and it didn't work.
How can this be?
Interpretation level English teacher.
It's punishment time!
Either that or alter ego gun is the baby.
Sorry, everyone.
Gonta,
Gonta, idiot!
Husbando! Like, it sounds like I'm hamming it up, but no, I am genuinely sad here. He's just dragging him sad. He's not even fighting back, he's just being dragged. What the fuck is this? Oh, and, oh, they're killing the laptop as well, and what if he's just giving birth in the background? What is this music? Is this stage 2 of Sonic Free Riders? That is a Wild West insecticide. This has lyrics. I'm going to listen to this later. Is she going to give birth? But his gun fires bugs. Please don't do what I'm planning for one of my executions, because I will be very angry if it is. Kind of. Just the fact that there's pregnancy going on here is kind of bothersome. Just inflating. Oh. You know, I'm surprised I didn't see that coming. That was wild. Hey, I was right, though. So we have that, at least. So... They took one aspect of one of the executions I have planned for my fan game, but I'm glad they didn't use the whole thing. So that means that I can't be accused of plagiarism. Just because, as it is, one of my characters is French. There is a French one in Rebirth Voices. There's a French one in Danganronpa 1. Just that was a wild execution. That was mad and crazy, and all the Mono kids are dead.
That's an evolution.
An evolution of what?
Scyther. The Pokemon.
Ah.
Dang it!
I mean, it goes sees Zora and goes back to green.
Unbelievable.
The curtains were blue. I misread parenting
Hello,
as
Lynn
penetrating.
But how?
Got a minute?
Okay.
I'm gonna walk away quietly and go maud my dead kids. Later. Hell's bells, Monokuma. Bees?
Got a minute?
What was that?
You?
You don't get a choice, Kokichi. You fucked everyone over, so explain your ass.
I don't want to, stupid head.
Kokichi.
Oh man, did you fall for all that fake crying? You're so dumb! I would never cry for Gonta!
What?
Because...
God, just punch his fucking lights out.
Hey!
Evil baby.
Well, you know.
Huh?
Which means... you really don't get it.
Hey!
Oh, Kokichi, you're just an anus.
Who cares about that idiot? I want to enjoy this game filled with suspicion and betrayal from the bottom of my heart.
Punch him in the face.
I am the supreme leader of evil, so it's obvious my personality would be twisted. The more you suffer, the more I enjoy it. There are people in this world who spread grief and misery for no reason than the thrill of it.
You're trying too hard to be, like, anti-Nagito, and it's just not working, Sam.
And I'm one of those.
I was gonna say.
Nothing pleases me more than inflicting pain on others.
I prefer the class from my Danganronpa game, thank you. We have motives. You have nothing. Not even a penis. What are we, the Beatles?
You're so dumb.
You bastard. Do you want to die?
I mean, it could work.
Don't screw around.
Yes! Yes, Queen! Oh, I absolutely will, Lozzie. If you're willing to provide it.
Oops, sorry. I tried to dodge you, but I punched you instead.
Sad.
Kaito!
But to be fair, Kaito is really predictable. Like, he's been punching people left, right, and center, so I'm not surprised this happened.
You.
By the way, Kaito, is it just me? Or are you way slow?
Oh, he's noticed that Kaito's dying.
Maybe, just maybe, Kaito is hiding something from us too.
Clearly, this is the motive for Chapter 5. Kaito's gonna kill Kokichi as revenge.
Kaito!
Oh.
That would actually, and I believe that happened too.
See, up until now, my reasoning is just, we need to have the last main execution mirror the first execution of the first game, which was the 0th execution, but still, and that involved space. And also, Nagito died in Chapter 5, so Anti-Nagito needs to die in Chapter 5. And that's the only reasoning, but now we have some meat for those potatoes.
You bastard.
Oh, wow. She's having a Celeste moment.
Let's have more fun.
I bet it's done on purpose, like we're supposed to be comparing them to characters from the previous games. That's probably part
I
of the
would
character
assume
design.
so.
Because Kaito Maki is absolutely shipping goals, as is Shuichi and Kaede. And Tess and Gonta.
Right?
Are you alright?
Wow.
Sorry.
Friends.
Oh? That's wrong.
Shuichi, don't talk to him. You're just gonna recover his ego.
No.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Which means he's immediately going to die next. That's just how Danganronpa works.
Kaito! Huh?
Hey,
What?
You can ship Tess with anyone, to be fair.
Okay.
I'm the launcher of 1,000 ships, apparently. No. That's a lot of blood.
What?
Kaito?
Blood? Why? What's the matter, Kaito?
Come on. Don't freak out over this. It's nothing. My cold just got worse is all.
I didn't know that coughing up blood was a cold symptom.
You're a robot and you don't know that? I'm saying it's fine. Just chill.
Oh, wow. Heather red ships us.
I just coughed too much and cut my
Was
throat or
this
something.
not something
I
that
don't know.
previous? I thought we were good shipping material years ago.
No.
No.
Kaito!
Shut up!
Wow. He has a Kokichi face, too.
Huh?
Has he not forgiven us for walking our own path during this trial? Even she has a Kokichi face.
Well,
See, how do they all go back separately? They have to leave using a lift. You all have to take the same lift, and that's totes orc.
Damn it!
I do feel as though, like, I'm disappointed by just how underplayed Shuichi's lab was in all of this. Because, like, it was an important part of the case, but it was never really addressed.
It's almost time.
Sort of like in the second game, how Hyoko's death was, like, really just sort of glossed over.
Yeah, it's almost time. This should be enough. I'll end it.
Please,
Kokichi was there.
Heather gets it from me.
Yes.
That's a face.
I mean, I get it from
Is the
place,
time.
but
I'll end this killing game.
do you think Kokichi was the attempt to have Nagito be like
Hey, I was right.
properly evil?
This is the interpretation that I came to when I was showing Heather, like, the ideas that I'd had. As for what that thing said, I was right.
Mm-hmm.
Again. God, we're down to 7. Like, it feels like there's fewer than that. But it's not. Oh. Anyway, I got an achievement, Virtual Remake. I think that's the first one that isn't out, like, just directly a TV term. Unless it is, and I'm just...
Technically it is.
Yeah. So, as ever, we get to see the first screen of Chapter 5, and then I'm ending. Because it is 10 to 1 in the morning. And I have paperwork to get on with. And technically I need to develop a game as well. In 24 hours.
My adorable mono cubs.
And we'll find out more about that in the next one. Oh, gone to daddy. Gone to daddy. Now, but before we leave, let me tell you a little something. Uptown Funky Wonk. Uptown Funky Wonk. That's how it sounds to me, and you can find me. Like, before I quit out of the game, I am going to just bring your boy in.
It's your boy!
Just... Well, it's sort of a game, sort of not a game. Like, it'll make more sense once I... I'll have gone to about... just there to block off the corner of the screen, and also to protect the donation bar, or like that's where the follows appear and the donations and all that stuff. He could be protector of the whatever. Oh, gone to daddy, rest in PP. Heather. Heather, are you laughing at my pee-pee? Does my pee-pee amuse you? Are you amused? I have an email. It's probably from Alex. I think he's going to be saying lewd things to me. He does that sometimes. I'm a lion. Meow.
Meow.
Meow. Moist. That's a very good question, Red. Anyway, are we going to be doing this again next week?
We should. I have no reason not.
Cool and good. And I'm guessing sometime tomorrow, Heather and I, privately, are going to be working on the closing arguments for Chaos Potentia Est, which I have a logo for that. I've shown it before. It's mediocre at best. It's a middling prize. But are you still down for that?
Yes.
Cool
yes.
And good. Well,
I don't think I have anything major to do. Except a lot of checking mail stuff. But whatever. I'll get that out of the way as possible.
Good. So do keep me posted, because I look forward to producing those. Even though I won't be able to put them anywhere public, because of course they're the closing arguments to the chapters, so they're full of spoilers. See, when you do it in your voice, it almost sounds like a Rouge the Batified version of the main theme. And I like it.
Flying the freedom. That working.
I've always maintained that if I were a character in a Sonic Adventure style game, my levels would be like Knuckles and Rouge's from Adventure and Adventure 2. Preferably Adventure 2, because the level design was a lot tighter and the Emerald Radar was just better, but...
I like the idea of being like following clues from a treasure map kind of thing, you know. Yarby 10 is from that kind of... So I've always preferred the treasure hunt in the second game, even though I prefer adventure overall. And that's how far I'll go on Sonic Adventure debate.
At some point, I need to do a Patreon video about Adventure, just because I need to spend 20 minutes orgasming over how it does the unreliable narrator trope better than the Catcher in the Rye.
Yes.
And most fiction for that matter. It's just... That game is so well executed, and it's just too easy to take the piss out of it, so people take the piss out of it instead of realizing that it's a piece of literary genius.
You don't know how bad. Looking forward to the inevitable Sonic Adventure duology.
Meow.
It's like an inevitability at this point of all these old franchises which had collapsed and burned in hell are getting recalled back, you know. After maybe Sly and maybe Gex. Depends on how many people actually love Gex. I can't see why he wouldn't.
As you know, like with Sly. I don't know if you got the reference or not, but I'm going to run with it anyway. I have two ships for Sly, 3 if you count me. Okay, like canonically, I would go gay for Sly Cooper. Like that, I'm not going to mince words about. Anything else, ambiguous, but Sly, I would absolutely go gay for him. Anyway, that notwithstanding, straight ship, Sly and Carmelita. Gay ship, Sly and Gex. And no one else agrees with me on this. They're
Well, I
perfect
just
for
don't
each other.
know why anyone else would come up with that kind of stuff. But yes, they would be.
I mean, I do
Start
headcanon
writing
that Gex is such a
again.
narcissist that he could literally just masturbate just to the sight of himself in a bathroom mirror. But that notwithstanding, I ship it.
Well, of course, Gex would be like, me, and then like the two of them will hitch up and stuff. Or sorry, if I were going the British one, then it's, hey, you remind me of me. And then the two of them will, whatever. And then they'll be shouting Austin Powers all day.
British Gex is best Gex. Though I think Leslie Phillips is dead, so there is that. But the British ones have always been better. Anyway, it is nearly 1 in the morning, so I must love you and leave you to die. No. I'm really looking forward to doing a test run of Chapter 3 with my closed audience, because part of the reason why we're waiting for Heather to hurry up and do the closing argument for Chapter 2 of my fan game is because I'm running what we call Lively Planet. So myself and Heather, Laura, Super Alex 641, and Joth Ending. I'm putting them through what little bits of the game I have already, and we've been waiting several months just because I thought, hey, it would be a fun little novelty if we play them the closing argument of Chapter 2 just to give them some closure, and then we never did that, so we've been waiting for several years. But once that's done...
This is Heather's fault.
Yes. Once that's done, I can finally walk them through Chapter 3, and I have sort of tried to put together notes for the closing argument for Chapter 3, and that has reignited my love for Chapter 3. But Chapter 4 is still my favourite, and they will find out why when we get to it. Chapter 5 is good, though. Like,
yes.
2, 4, 5, and 6 are all really good. 1 I appreciate now that I've done the trial for, and 3 is also good. So basically, I've made a game and it's really good. I've not finished making it yet. One day I will, and it will be glorious. And that's all the story for another time. It's nearly 1 o'clock, so I should go. Goodboo. That's a Sly thing. Every episode of Sly ended with goodboo.
Well, close enough.
Thanks for watching, if indeed you still are.